just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots may have some problems on the offensive line to deal with this weekend as they get ready for a playoff game against the Chargers on Sunday night. Starting center Garrett Bradbury missed his second straight practice with an illness, and the starting left guard Jared Wilson remained in a red non-contact uniform. Also, Vidarian Lowe and Thayer Mumford Jr. were missing, along with defensive lineman Kairos Tonga. Chargers top running back Amarian Hampton was out for a second straight day. Last night, Miami beat Mississippi in the Fiesta Bowl 31-27. They reached the national championship. They'll play the winner of tonight's Peach Bowl between number one Indiana and Oregon. Bruins returned from an up-and-down road trip with a solid home win last night, 4-1 over Calgary at TD Garden. Jonas Korpisalo was the star of the game for the Bruins in the win with 28 saves in net, and Sean Corrali added a goal and an assist.
I think as a group, we knew tonight was really important for us. We weren't happy how it ended. We thought we gave away 2 points in Seattle, and we wanted to get them back tonight. And credit to us for the most part, we did. We had a focus to try and stay out of the box tonight. We were better at that. And, we know the recipe going forward. We just got to stick to it.
The Bruins now host the Rangers tomorrow. Celtics play Toronto at TD Garden tonight. Granny and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. And the Red Sox yesterday signed Tanner Houck, Tristan Casas, Romy Gonzalez, and Johan Oviedo to one-year contracts yesterday, and that took care of their remaining 4 salary arbitration cases. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by LNF Electrical Services, a veteran-owned full-service electrical and HVAC company. Don't get sparked with high prices. Call 844-LF-WIRES or visit lfelectricalservice.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade break May.
We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Is the cat still alive?
Yeah.
Ho!
Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Did Nick Gemelli go out and talk to the guy with the magic wand?
He said he's going Monday.
What if he sells the wand before that?
No, it's a good call.
Let's make a note that Nick is to be there on Monday. Because I'm pretty obsessed with him going to this. Because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of
Pushback?
not mentioning it.
Oh.
Letting things die. Oh no, there was something else that had to happen. We need to get him back in the habit of getting some audio. That's my sense. Right, so Bert Breer will be in at 7 o'clock today. We'll have Cedric Maxwell on. Kendra will be in. A lot of fun today. But, Hardy, you had the boat show, and I was out with a friend yesterday that watches us on YouTube, and they said that Blind Scott is all over YouTube, and Blind Scott was claiming he was going to go to the boat show, but I'm guessing he did not show up.
No, as a matter of fact, I got to the boat show, and the street teamer who was there, I started telling him, what was going on and, what I would like to do, and I may utilize him, to get some audio with Scott. And he said, oh, there was a blind person here asking about you, like, before, the official start time. I said, oh. And I asked him to describe the person to me, and he said, well, it was an older woman. I said, I don't think so, but, that's not so fast. Let's ask a few more questions here to see if, perhaps this was blind Scott. Turns out it was not, because afterward I checked my Scott in the North End email folder.
Right.
And
we all have one of those. Right.
It started yesterday at 6:15 with the subject line, "Can I go boat show? Can I go boat show?" And again, I didn't reply to that, but anyone can go to the boat show. Last night, I saw this one at 10:17 p.m. I wish I had gone to the boat show. I would have gone, but you guys played my content in the morning, so I didn't go because I went to bed instead. But I wish I had gone. I really wanted to go. I just didn't think it was worth it because I got sleep instead. And then it cuts off because you can only put so much in a subject line before the email will cut you off.
Well, it makes sense. He got enough, he got enough juice from being on in the morning.
Yeah.
And then he didn't really have to, make his appearance at the boat show.
He didn't want to oversaturate the market with his content.
Was there any bit of you that was disappointed he was not at the boat show?
Yeah, and I think I got the street teamer excited about it, and I said, well, careful what you wish for, because this is not going to go well, if he does show up. But, it was going to give us, a little project there together. So I think he was excited about that aspect of it. I had a lot of other people come up to me. The first guy that I talked to asked me, so did you Uber or take the train?
Okay.
That was the number one question. And I did take the train, and it ended up being the right move. But I don't think I've ever been in South Station before. Maybe once or twice. I'm in North Station, or if I'm taking the commuter rail, I'm Back Bay. That's where I get out.
Yep.
And, because then you can orange line over to North Station, or there's, stuff to do. And there's a lot of stuff around that Back Bay stop. When I got out at North Station, and I think this would cause you anxiety too, Fred, as I left the train, I see a bunch of people queued up outside of, like the turnstile or the walkways to get through, waiting to go onto the platform for the train. And I'm like, why is everyone waiting here? What happens here that doesn't happen at other stations? So much so that later on when I went back, and I was taking the train, back to Canton, I see all these people standing outside, not inside the terminal where it's warm, but outside waiting to get on the platform, but not going through the gates. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I called my daughter, because she is very much into using the commuter rail to go downtown and hang out with her friends and stuff. And I said, what is it with all these people standing outside but not going to the platform? And she said, I don't know what you're talking about, and got very annoyed, and then handed the phone to her mother. So I just kind of waited it out, and sure, at some point I just walked through, and I got on the train and had to sit there a few extra minutes, but I still don't know I don't know what goes on down there. I don't get it.
Weird.
You go to Back Bay, you show up when your train is about to leave. If you're a little bit early, maybe grab a Dunkin' or something, but then you go down to the platform, you get on the train. Yeah. There's all these people standing outside, but not going on the platform. I don't get it.
All right. There is some people that say they've talked to Blind Scott. Manny, go ahead.
Yeah. I got a problem with maybe Blind Scott, who reads all the YouTube comments. I think he said in Ben Maller, he's like, oh, I was at the boat show. I made the 98.5 some money, and he claimed that he knew how much Hardy was getting paid, and he said that he was. I thought that's what I heard, that he said that he was there. Wait, you guys represented 98.5 or something like that in that nature.
Yeah,
pretty sure he said he was there. He's probably lying.
Okay, so he did call into Ben Maller this morning, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I don't believe it, but
no
okay.
way.
We have the audio, Fred. I will prove it to you.
Blind Scott, who's up next on the north end of Boston. He's our insider. Hello, Blind Scott.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was at the boat show earlier. I had an appearance there for the Sports Hub. I've been noticed by the Sports Hub, Beasley Media, and Odyssey, WFAN. I'm actually real popular. My mom was telling me life is like a train. do not contact anybody that's blood related to you. They've gotten off at a previous stop.
Did you like all the boats? Did they look good to you, Blind Scott? They look nice, the boats, yes?
Well, no, I actually didn't go. Well, Hardy went. He got paid $800 to go, but I didn't go because I had a hard time.
Man, I'll go to for $800. I'll go to every boat show. My God, you kidding me? Come on.
Free. I'll go for free. I had a Titanic stand-up I was going to do in a Mexican cartel boat buying thing I was going to do.
What?
Listen, at least he had bits. Better than Nick.
I'm glad he knows what I got paid because I don't know. I don't know what I got for that appearance.
He probably asked someone. He probably knows someone in sales. So he gave him the heads up.
He was doing an appearance, and before he was challenged on that, he backed off and said, well, no, I actually didn't go.
No, he was playing the game.
Nice.
Blind Scott won line.
Right.
Blind Scott, who's up next on the north end of Boston. He's our insider. Hello, Blind Scott.
Oh, yeah, dude, I was at the boat show earlier. I had
No, you
really weren't.
No, but then he says he wasn't.
Then he said he wasn't like 15 seconds later.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, he didn't really lie. I mean, he said he was there, and then he said he wasn't.
He fell on his sword before anyone could stab him with it.
If you tell the truth later but lied the first time, you still lied.
Oh, get out of here. If he goes, I was at the boat show, no, I really wasn't there. That's not a lie.
It was an appearance, Fred. It was an appearance.
You guys are both idiots.
Hello, Blind Scott.
Oh, yeah, dude, I was at the boat show earlier. I had an appearance there for the Sports Hub. I've been noticed by the Sports Hub.
Yeah,
you just keep playing that without playing the other thing. But
well, so he's lying at the beginning.
All right,
and
I don't want to
like,
get fine. He's lying.
And
But
like 2 minutes later, he says, "No, I didn't go."
Not even 2 minutes.
Yeah, because that's more of a joke than a lie. But do you know that what his WFAN thing is?
No.
So apparently Scott Farrell was on something, and while we were on vacation, and Blind Scott was having great success with Scott Farrell. Well, I think we already talked about this. He was having great success getting on with Scott Farrell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they were having like wonderful conversations about this show, about everything that he was just overcome with how close he got to Scott Farrell. Paul, go ahead.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
I just love the matter-of-factness with which it rolls off of his tongue that he did an appearance for 98.5 at the boat show. But then he quickly follows it up with, he's been noticed by 98.5. Yeah. I think he misspoke. He's been put on notice by 98.5. Please stop contacting us so vigorously.
Well, I'll tell you.
Well, being on a watch list is like being noticed.
Sure.
Good point.
I'll tell you, though, his interactions on Instagram, I don't go into the YouTube chat, so I don't care, but I do. I don't have a problem with him doing that. His stuff on Instagram, to me, is very funny because I looked at the insights of the Chisholm video that he is talking to people because, again, I was out with someone last night. They were like, Blind Scott's all over this video that you guys have up because, they might not listen to the whole show, but they follow the Instagram accounts. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, it's hysterical because he's arguing with people. And I'm like, yeah. So I looked at the insights, like 85% of the interactions are from non-followers. So it's all people that this just video goes in their algorithm. And Blind Scott's a lunatic that's sitting there, he's just arguing all day long with being a lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
And these other people are all idiots arguing with Blind Scott. Like, that's how they're spending their time. I think it's an imperfect encapsulation of social media. Like, these people are like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to give these guys what for? And then Blind Scott's just like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, and then they spend their time arguing with him.
Well, at midnight, he emailed us and he said, I just found all the hidden comments on Instagram.
Oh.
So it's gaining more traction. Now it's gaining more traction now. I didn't find these earlier. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm not really reading the comments anymore because it will say there was 100 comments and I think like 99 are from Blind Scott now. But I don't mind him doing it because I think any time that just like a lunatic goes in, and nothing harmful, just kind of points out to everyone like, hey, this is you. You're no better than me. I'm sitting here, just spending all day on this thing and you're doing the same thing. That gives me great joy. It would never occur to any of these people that this is what's happening to them. Again, if you follow the station or you listen to the show and you want to badmouth it, that's fine. That's your right, because I'm talking about, like Scott was saying yesterday, people from the West Coast come on at like 7:30 their time, so like 10:30 East Coast time. So Scott will get on to like argue with people from the West Coast. From the West Coast in some Efton Chisholm video, that means you know what you're commenting on a daily basis, if that's like a video you're commenting on. And I think you're a huge loser and really damaging for the product, for society, all of it. And I love that Blind Scott is just sitting there making a mockery of that whole thing. I really do. I enjoy it. Because if you follow me, Hardy, the station, the show, whoever comments on anything shouldn't affect your enjoyment of the videos at all. You don't have to click on the comments. In fact, I've never commented. I'd put a lot of money that I haven't commented on an Instagram video.
No, never.
And if I have, it was definitely someone I knew.
Yeah, I'm sure I've done it with someone I know.
Yeah. There's no one I haven't known that I've commented on a video. That I've got to be almost positive, 99% positive. Like Daniel Muir will like comment on my videos, and I'll like Melissa from down the hall will comment on my videos, and I'll like interact with her. But I'll tell you that if you're just like commenting on random people's videos, like random people, meaning that if you're a fan of like a show or a fan of a comedian, that's fine. That's just you exercising, and sharing an opinion about something that you like or something you're disappointed in. That's obviously, to me, that's completely fine. If you're a lunatic in California that just sees some random video about Efton Chisholm, and this is like and then you comment on it like you're a real winner, like, oh, now
It's like you put your own exclamation point on it. Okay, argument's over. I've spoken.
Right, and then it's who are you affecting? And then Blind Scott gets in there, and then you see Blind Scott, and then you go, oh yeah, and then you go back and forth with Blind Scott. You're Blind Scott,
and guess what? Nothing gets done. If you really think you're going to argue with this person and win the argument definitively, that never happens.
Well, no, but the thing is
wasting your time.
But if any one of them saw Blind Scott, they go, "What a loser! Blind Scott's such a loser." Da, 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 da. Oh, is he? Because you're the same guy. You're spending your time doing the exact same thing he is, and at least he knows the show and is doing it. In all his comments on that I've read are all kind of joking around. He's saner than you are. He's not really trying to argue with you.
And when you get into an argument like that, you're doing it to get your point across, for there to be a resolution to this argument and to prove to the other person that he's a whack job. And you know what? There's no judge monitoring this saying, oh, you're definitively the winner. And it goes on forever until one of you gets tired of it. There's no I don't understand how you do that.
If you're commenting on 1,000 videos a day, here's the reason. You're trying to make people feel bad to make yourself feel better. That's it. Or trying to tell a group of commenters that you're like Fonzie, which is so sad and so pathetic. Now, again, if you like, say, Howard Stern, and Howard Stern puts a video up that you don't like, you can be like, say, like Sal, the stockbroker, does something and you don't like it, and you go like, dude, Sal's got to stop doing so much stuff. That's your opinion based on something that you consume. That's perfectly fine. And then maybe there's a like-minded community of people that listen to the show, and you could have a discussion with them. I understand the reason for commenting, and I don't think everyone's a loser, or most people are losers that do it. I'm talking about if you're commenting on a station video, you've never heard of our station, you think this is a podcast, then you are commenting on everything. And you are crazier than Blind Scott, because at least Blind Scott is aware of what he's doing. He's trying to get the station's attention, and he's trying to bother people.
Yeah, he knows what the things are that he's commenting on.
Right.
Yes.
So they're crazier than Blind Scott.
Yeah.
All right. The Bruins played. I was there last night. I mean, a bit of a good luck charm.
Saw a good one. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I saw a win. I don't know. It wasn't.
Considering how they played on the West Coast, that was pretty solid last night.
No, it was a very solid game. But I mean, it was. Let's put it this way: it was Calgary, and not chock full of stars and everything else.
Considering the way they played, I'll take.
John, I'm happy they won. I just I argue with that it was like a great game, and the college football playoff was last night as well. We'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy
That's what I want on my tombstone.
on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, I don't have the read for what happened last night.
We don't have a sponsor for what happened last night currently. So, if you're listening and you'd like to sponsor this daily segment,
Yeah, we have a
Please reach
daily
out.
segment. What happened last night? It's available for sponsorship, so go ahead and get in on that. I don't know how that works, but if you're in sales, sell it. We'll do it. All right, go ahead.
So the Bruins were home last night to take on Calgary after I swear that I heard Marco Sturm or maybe, I don't think it was Ryan Johnston. Somebody last night claimed that they had gone 500 on their Western road trip.
2 wins, 2 losses, and an overtime loss. So is that 500?
No.
Well, there you have it.
Okay. But suffice it to say, they wanted to be playing better, and last night they had a chance to play better. Freddie T was at the game and saw this in person.
McAvoy with the puck at the near circle, going to play it up the right side. Janot going to carry into the Calgary zone. McAvoy stumbling back toward the bench as Corrali shoots and scores. Sean Corrali from between the circles beats Wolf, and the Bruins grab a 1-0 lead.
Electric. Did you know it was going in the whole time, Fred?
Yeah, I was pretty locked in at that point, ready to go bananas.
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson
Midway
gave
through
me
the
those
first,
tickets.
like, come on, let's somebody put the biscuit in the basket already.
Yeah, I was feeling a lot of pressure. Ryan Johnston gave me those tickets. They're good tickets.
Nice.
Very good tickets.
Sitting in the loge?
I was in the loge,
Nice.
and I could see Billy Jaffe. I did not go over there, but I could see Billy Jaffe and the gang getting ready to, in between periods to go on there. I did leave the game with 7 minutes left.
Attaboy.
But when I got out of there, you know what I did? Walked right into a cab because there was no one out in front of the Garden, and I was able to get right into the cab.
I can't believe you were the only one leaving with 7 minutes left.
In a
because
4-1 game?
It was 4-0 at that point.
No, it's
still,
4-1.
wasn't it?
They got
that's
a
right.
goal
They
at the end of the second
they didn't-
period.
Don't tell me what the score was. I was there.
1,000 pardons.
And Detroit is in the Eastern Time Zone.
And you know what I did last night is I thought I put Michigan State men's basketball was down against Northwestern, so I thought I put money on that game, which they ultimately won. And but I hadn't. I had put money on the women's basketball team who was playing Washington.
And they
won.
Nice.
So I did win that bet, but then I tried to make a little more money, put in on some money on Ole Miss to win when they were down 3 or something.
Did you get a special call from the head of the sports book thanking you for betting on women's college basketball? And would you be interested in maybe talking to some other investors about your experience?
They asked if I was part of the Lift Shots cartel.
That had to have set off sirens, said the DraftKings or wherever you bet through. Well, whoa! We got to bet on what?
The Sharps, man. The Sharps all know about chick sports.
Only a few months until the WNBA season begins.
Oh, women's college hoops. It's totally been transformed thanks to
Caitlin
what's her
Clark.
name? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, now everyone's going to be watching it every game, every season.
No, not really.
No, that was the big swing that they needed.
Yeah.
And they got it. Now it's on the tip of everyone's mind. All right, Fred. So you were there to see Casey Middlestat.
And that one knocked away. Zaka keeps alive. To Middlestat, near circle, takes the shot. Wolf the save. Rebound, score! Casey Middlestat makes it a 4-0 Bruins lead.
Can't have anything nice, though, because 45 seconds later.
Berengovich in the left wing corner. Back to the point for Ball. Shot gets redirected by Frost and saved by Korpisalo. Here's Zarek. Plenty of space. Walks to the front of the net and scores.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Defensive breakdown.
4-1, the score there. That would be your final, as we already mentioned. There was no scoring in the third period.
You know what they do at the games now that I've always suggested they do on TV, but they do it at the games, is they have a list of who's on the ice and how long they've been on the ice. Did you know that?
I've seen it on the broadcast. I didn't know they did it in-house.
Yeah, they do it in-house now. It's very nice.
I like that.
Yeah, I do like it. Well, yeah, of course, especially with this team. I don't know who the hell's on this team. By number? No.
Sure.
I mean, how many numbers on this team? I mean, John is like into that kind of stuff, but I mean, I know Pasternak for sure, number-wise.
McAvoy.
And then McAvoy, yeah, but McAvoy's got a weird number.
73.
Yeah, like it's like 73 is not like it's still confusing because it's not like 99, like a Gastineau Gretzky situation.
Sure.
But yeah, so I know McAvoy and Pasternak, and I think that's about it. I don't know anyone else's number like off the top of my head. Because, what do you want out of me? This team changes. What do you mean to know Elias Lindholm's number every time that he gets on the ice? I'm not a fan.
Well, not only that, but if you weren't aware of the line changes that Marco Sturm was implementing before last night's game, you would have been very confused. What was the reasoning behind that, other than you guys not playing well?
I think we did the right thing, and we balanced the lines a little bit. I really liked Kuz with David and Lindy, just to give him a little bit more speed. Yeah, the other line stayed the same, and I think overall we're a little bit deeper, and also our fourth line, if you want to call the fourth line Sean line, they definitely played better than the last few games too, so that helps.
One other thing, Morgan Geekie, no goals again last night, scoreless in his last 8, and you were talking about mixing up the lines. Geekie got dropped to the third line, skating with Fraser Mitten last night, at least at the beginning of the game. He is in, I don't know what has happened to him. He has fallen completely off a table. Maybe he's upset he didn't make Team Canada for the Olympics, but man, he is not playing well. Not playing well at all.
Korpisalo made 28 saves last night, and yes, Geekie in a bit of a slump.
Yeah, Korpisalo looked okay. It didn't look, I mean, I was there, so what do I know? But it didn't look like he was challenged a ton. But, I mean, he didn't look terrible, which is what he's looked like most of the time this year.
Yeah, and Sturm's been playing Swayman a lot. I think that was obviously Korpisalo's first win of the new year, his first win in like 2 or 3 weeks. Hasn't been playing well. He was under 500 before last night. He may still be under 500. No, he played real well. I listened to some of the broadcasts with Ryan and Bob last night. They were raving about how good he looked. So, I don't know. There were a couple of really good chances in close once Calgary made a push, and Korpisalo. The only goal he gave up is when there was a defensive breakdown in front of him. So he looked pretty good, apparently.
All right, there you go. I mean, I was chatting the day away. I wasn't locked in. I was chatting.
CFP semifinal last night. We had Ole Miss and Miami going at it. What? Miami dominant in the first half, but Ole Miss comes storming back. Lead changes galore in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss not only scoring a touchdown, but going for 2, so they could potentially go up 3.
Takes the give, wants to throw, launches back in the end zone, wide open. Odom hauls it in, and the Rebels get 2. So a field goal for Miami would only tie it. 27-24 Ole Miss.
Do you think that the people of Mississippi are upset that an obvious carpetbagger has come down and taken that job? I mean, this is Mississippi radio. You would think that you would have someone at least from the area.
Field goal. It turns into a 2-syllable word. Goal.
Field goal.
All right, so Miami has a chance, but they have less than 3 minutes. By the way, you have created a monster with this live betting the team that's trailing, and I know it's only supposed to work for certain basketball teams, maybe one in particular.
Yeah,
but
Michigan State, yeah.
I saw Ole Miss down last night, 17-13. I'm like, plus 250. I like that. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm looking at the cash-out option with 250 left in the game. I'm like, nah, they can get one stop, can't they?
Beck holds his hands out, takes, drops, looks. Watch the throw. Going to run. That's an open field. Carson Beck into the end zone. He runs it in over the left side. Carson Beck takes it in for a Miami touchdown.
What happened?
Well, They forgot that the I'll tell you what happened. The Ole Miss defense forgot that the quarterback doesn't have to throw it. He can actually just keep the football and run it in. And he could have walked in.
Yes.
He could have walked in.
It was only within 10 yards.
Well, if it's Carson Beck, chances are he would have had to have walked in. I mean, he's been playing college football for 17 years. But now all those graduates of University of Miami, which is, a school of 2,500 people, they can all enjoy everything. Oh, that's right. All their fans are just are non-high school diploma having scum. Like my University of Miami, I don't know why. I guess it's because it's in southern Florida, but I don't know why. Like it's not Florida or Florida State. Like all those, Crash's and Crash's
they're
brothers.
All Miami fans.
They're all huge University of Miami fans. And Crash has a GED, but he is but his favorite team in any sport, more than the Dolphins, more than anything, is University of Miami. Now, I guess when he was 18 was probably, because they were good before Jimmy Johnson. That guy with the mustache is
Howard
coach.
Schnellenberger.
Right. And so he cheated too. So they had
he did.
He cheated real bad.
That's right.
Well, yeah, dude, they're a small school.
I forgot about
as
that.
D1 schools go,
Yeah.
University of Miami is not a very big school. It's a private school. Back in the day, it wasn't very difficult to get into, and it's a beautiful area, a beautiful campus. It's removed a little bit from Miami.
Coral Gables, is that right?
Yeah, Coral Gables, like a little south, I believe, of Miami,
Yes.
like that island,
It is.
south.
It is, yes.
And, their fan base, John and I were at the same game and saw the same guy.
That's right.
I've seen Miami play BC, I think, twice at BC, and there was a guy that looked like much like Brandon Novak did this with Bam Margera. Bam Margera released love onto Novak's arm, and Novak got it tattooed. It appeared this man had been someone had been enjoying his company and let him know on his neck, and then he got it tattooed. But that just was the state of Florida.
It was,
and this isn't. I'm not a total hack making fun of the shape of the state of Florida. I'm making fun of the guy's tattoo. And this is a guy that traveled to go see University of Miami. The guy with what looked like a DNA sample on his neck. But then, John, were you on the show when we had this? You might not have been on the show when we had this conversation, but John and I were both at the same game. And I'm there was a guy there, and he was obviously a man with a criminal record. And he had this tattoo that looked like, semen. And it just looked like a bunch of stuff. And John saw him too, and didn't know what was on his neck either. And then we both individually at some point figured out, that's the state of Florida.
Well, you had to get
Key West.
From me.
Oh yeah, he had the keys, so that's why it really
the whole thing.
It looked like there was woom and then little dots.
But the thing is, he sat in the chair. The guy's like, "Is that enough?" No. I have to have the keys on there too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and he was a real piece of garbage.
You can spot these guys from a mile away because they're wearing the stupid school colors.
He's carrying on the whole game no one cares. Miami's beating them, killing them. There's no atmosphere at the game. Would a BC fan care? And there's just this total Crash's brother kind of guy with a big old man juice stain on his neck, just screaming and yelling. Yeah, Miami fans are real bad. Real bad.
Well, they had to get one final stop as Ole Miss did get the ball back and moved it downfield a couple of times.
6 seconds from going to the national championship. Snap. Chambliss drifts to his left. He lets it fly deep in the end zone. It is knocked away. Knocked away. Incomplete. No time left. No time left.
But there should have been a flag.
Absolutely. I was telling Hardy this earlier. That was absolutely pass interference on the final play. Absolutely pass interference.
I would not have
on
been
the final play.
Put it this way. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had thrown a flag. But in that moment, and I do believe games are called differently at different points in the game, and I think they should be called differently at different points in the game. Even though I lost money on that play, I don't mind there not being a flag.
It hurts less in college football because they wouldn't have put the ball at the 1 yard line. It was a 10-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty. It would have been the same play.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't take an inordinate amount of balls to call that. You know, it's not like you're giving the ball so close to the goal line.
There's a lot of hand-to-hand stuff there.
The defensive back pulled him down. It was a penalty.
Now you're going overboard.
Okay. Go look at the play again.
Yeah,
dummy. I watched it plenty last night, and I'm like,
All right. Well, look, we will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented.
know. No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Bert Breer's coming in soon. Can you guys tell me what's going on with Linus Ullmark?
I will tell you as Ryan Beaton has explained it. Hold on a second.
But you know Ryan, he's
Bless
doing
him.
imitations during the whole thing's wild hand gestures.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's called me last night all drunk and screaming and, that FaceTiming me, too. He's like Zolak. He FaceTimes me from, like, bonfires that he's attending, and he's just...
Does he take you on a tour of his basement and show you memorabilia?
Yeah, he's like 9 White Claws deep, and he's just ranting and raving. I'm like, Jesus, put it in an email, dude. So Ryan's explanation goes like this. There's a lot of rumors online saying Linus Ullmark told his girlfriend in private that a lot of players on the team cheat. Then he himself got caught cheating, and his girlfriend got pissed and exposed all the other cheating players. And now Ullmark's teammates don't want to play with him anymore. So that's where things are online, to the point where the Ottawa Senators had to put out a statement yesterday.
Always a smart thing to do.
Our organization was extremely disappointed to read the completely fabricated and false stories that are spreading around social media about our hockey club. Linus is away from our team for personal reasons, and he has the entire organization's support. We ask that people respect his privacy, but clearly that request was not heard by the lowest forms of trolls and sick people who scour the internet, Beaton. We are disgusted that outside forces are attempting to disrupt our hockey club. The statement will put an end to the ridiculous speculation that has spread online.
Because that's what you want to do as a team. Draw as much attention to the controversy surrounding it as possible.
I actually think that statement means that didn't happen. I mean, I do. And I think they just want to put an end to it. But, I mean, everyone's told their wives that someone was cheating on someone. It's too juicy gossip not to say. It's the wife entirely her fault. Like, if you go, oh, hey, like, if I'll just give Hardy, for example, if he's like, hey, Marcy, have you heard, like, John Smith has been, like, I heard that he was, like, at a strip club. No, that doesn't count as cheating, really. That he was that he's been having this, like, affair for, like 2 months with this other woman that we know. Can you believe it? And she's like, and you go, you can't tell anyone. And then she's like, da-da-da-da-da. And then your ex-wife, or your wife pops off at, like, one point, to a bunch of people. That's entirely on your wife. Like, that's not even on Linus Ullmark. Like, first of all, if you're a hockey player, I've seen the way that they travel. If you're not having an extramarital affair at some point, I don't know what you're doing.
You're kind of doing it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, especially in your 20s, early 30s, I can tell you this. Chris Chelios was not overly clandestine in his affairs.
I thought you were going to say he was handsome.
Well, Chris Chelios just owned bars and was just like, let's do it right here in the bar, apparently, is what I've heard. So, whatever, like, you're a professional athlete, you're on the road, like, okay, so you're going to have some affairs. But I don't even know why that would be on Linus Ullmark. So the big thing is he told his wife that someone was having an affair.
I mean, I haven't read the rumors online. I'm not in as deep as this is Beaton is, because he just lives online and gets drunk and calls everybody about it. But maybe
Beaton's having an affair.
I could envision this. He gets confronted by his wife or girlfriend. I think you're cheating. I mean, no, I don't cheat. Everyone else cheats. You know what this guy does?
Well, then he's an idiot, because that's the worst thing that you could possibly do. No, what I would think was happening is, like, all right, you can't believe this. Like, Mike McRae on the team had sex. He's, like, dating this, like, 400-pound woman or something like that. Like, something that you can't resist. It's, like, too good. Or this guy claims to be super Christian, but he's out, like, having sex with hookers. Like, that's the kind of stuff that you couldn't resist it. I mean, it's someone you're living with. Mm-hmm. It's when they go and tell anyone, that's what the problem is. Like it's not like it would even be someone confessing to you that they've had an affair and then you going and telling someone. This just seems like it would be common knowledge. Like we're out on the road and this guy's banging like, or this guy bangs like real dirty like street walking hookers. Like something that's like interesting that you want to share with your wife. It's her fault for going off and telling everyone. I think that's completely fair. Like sometimes when I was married, sometimes like nothing that if someone did something like absolutely insane, I would say like, oh my God, like da 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 da. Now, if someone was having like screwed up and like had sex with someone else or like something like that, I wouldn't say anything. But if there was something like a really good story, that's too hard to keep in.
Right.
And then and all I'm doing is telling my wife. So if she goes off and tells someone, that's on her. And a betrayal of my trust as much as it is a betrayal of the trust of the guy that did had the affair.
But you could see this, and again, the senators say, like, this is all completely 100% fabricated, untrue. Everybody shut up. We're not talking about this anymore. But if you're concocting a story, and the story the story is Allmark told his girl about all these other guys, and that girl then starts calling around and saying, these guys are all pieces of crap. Lena's told me that, your man is doing this, and then calls the next wife, and then calls the next girlfriend. You could see where his teammates would be like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'd be like, leave your wife. That's what I would say. I'd say, you got to leave your wife. There's no trust between the two of you.
But you wouldn't be pissed at him?
I wouldn't be as pissed at him as the wife. I would say I would be pissed at him if he didn't leave his wife. Because his wife did it. What his wife did is just as bad as what the guy who cheated did, in my opinion. And I really do mean that. It's all a betrayal of trust. In fact, if you cheat on me and I don't know about it and I never find out about it and you don't like continue to do it, you've made a mistake. If I give you information and then you actively try to sabotage me, an affair can happen. Right, I would assume. I never had like an affair, but like an affair can happen. Like people are human, and you get caught up, and people make mistakes. That's fine. If I tell someone a secret, and then they go out and tell the people that the secret is about, and try to like ruin their lives, that's an active case. They're actively trying to do something.
Yeah.
An affair is, look, we're all built a way. We all have desires. We all can fall in love with. There's things that are a little bit out of our control.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was almost literary.
I just made that up.
Yeah, I know. If it was in a book, I would have heard about it. All right, changing the subject a little bit. Eric, go ahead.
Hey, Hardy, Bruins most definitely went 500. I'm going to give you a little math exercise here, okay? In the NHL, winning percentage is calculated by points, right? 5 games, 10 points available. They got 5. That's 50%. What's that in averages?
Yes.
Now let's go to baseball.
Yes,
you get up 10 times in baseball, get on base 5 times, what's your on-base percentage?
Yeah. Okay, after the game that they lost in overtime, if you ask someone to say, did the Bruins win last night, what would you say?
It doesn't matter. The winning percentage.
No. It does matter. If you and I are having a conversation about the game last night that they lost in overtime, and I said, "Did the Bruins win last night?" What would you say? Would you say talk about the point? No. Would you talk about the points that they got, or would you say they lost?
No, they lost, but they went.
Thank you. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Statistically.
Bye. Bye.
Moving.
Bye. Bye.
Go move. Go move. Go move. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. I didn't even know what they were talking about, but I like that there was.
It didn't matter at the end. It didn't matter.
All right, Bert Breer is scheduled to be here. Our guests love getting Phil Perry the same way. They love waltzing in.
Just very quickly, yes. Because if you look at the schedule.
Hardy, no. I'm on the show and I don't know what you guys are talking about.
The 5-game road trip. It goes loss, win, loss.
2 and 3.
Very good. Okay, we will be back in just a moment. with hopefully Burt Breer.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. The Sports Hub.
Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are counting down towards a home playoff game against the Chargers this Sunday night. Offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels has a big challenge in front of him this weekend.
They're really good at their core, and then they're going to have some game plan elements that challenge you schematically as well. So this is a really tough preparation because the players are really, really good.
Yesterday, the Patriots are missing starting center Garrett Bradbury from practice again due to an illness. Also missing offensive lineman Vidarian Lowe and Thayer Mumford, along with defensive lineman Karis Tonga. Chargers top back Omarion Hampton sat out practice for a second straight day as well. In other NFL news, the Miami Dolphins fired head coach Mike McDaniel yesterday. Miami, the Hurricanes, got a late touchdown to beat Mississippi 31-27 in the national semifinals. Miami will play now either number one Indiana or Oregon a week from Monday. That matchup is the Peach Bowl. That's tonight in Atlanta. The Bruins returned from a back-and-forth road trip with a solid home win last night. 4-1 over Calgary at TD Garden. Jonas Korpisalo, 28 saves in net. Bruins host the Rangers tomorrow. Celtics host Toronto tonight. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the Red Sox took care of their 4 salary arbitration cases, signing Tanner Houck, Tristan Casas, Romy Gonzalez, and Johan Oviedo to separate one-year deals. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Cross Insurance, known for building winning partnerships with teams of all sizes. The official insurance broker of the Red Sox, the Bruins, and the Patriots. Visit crossagency.com. Cross Insurance, your team, your choice. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Takes the snap, rolling to his right. It's being chased by Judon. Drake May on the run to the 5. Gets away.
Drake May knows it.
Boston, I think it's the best sports city in the world.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallach?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy, I'm excited, but also we're not here just to, get here. We have to be able to host games and compete for championships. So there's not going to be any consolation prize for anybody. We understand what we have to do.
Apologize for the time it took for me to do that. All right. We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on the, what do you call it over there? The YouTube. You can subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Oh, I thought we had a sponsor for Bird now. We have a sponsor for someone else?
No, we have a sponsor for Bird, but I've been given no information on what that is. I'm waiting to hear about it. Hopefully we'll hear about it this hour.
Bird, guess
be able
what?
to get it in
Companies
you
knocking
have a sponsor
themselves
now.
over for you. Look at
really?
You are
Okay.
bought and paid for now,
Wow.
my friend.
All right.
Bird Breer is the senior NFL reporter and lead content strategist for the MMQB. Thanks for joining us, Bird.
No problem.
Okay, I thought this was kind of funny. So the Ringer, not to bring up a competitor, but I guess you probably wouldn't care.
No,
but
it's all good.
The Ringer has the biggest head football coaching candidates in the NFL for these 7 open jobs.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, good on ESPN for reporting on my way in yesterday definitively that they had talked to both Harbaugh's camp and Miami's camp, and Miami was not only not interested in Harbaugh, they were not firing Mike McDaniel.
Yeah,
and
I missed that. What was that?
So I was on the way into work yesterday at ESPN Radio. They were talking about head coaching vacancies and what was going on, and it's chaos during those shows because they just clip as many of these dudes as possible that have talked throughout the day. It's a little aggravating, but I figure. It takes me 15 minutes to get here. Maybe that's considered work. And they referred to the defensive coordinator for the Chargers as a straight-up genius. And
Jesse
then,
Mentor, yeah.
Yeah, straight-up genius. And then, which I'm sure he's a genius. And then, second of all, they said that they had talked to, and I believe that I forgot who the guy was. It's one of the inside guys. It wasn't Schefter. And I truly believe that they were reporting what they had heard. But he's like, I have talked to people that I believe that are, very close to the Harbaugh camp and very close to Ross in Miami, and they're not firing McDaniel and they're not interested in Harbaugh. But that's got to be the other team that was looking at Harbaugh, right?
I reported
just real quick.
reported 2 weeks ago that Mike McDaniel was safe unless John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin became available. Steve Ross, now you have to understand the background here. Steve Ross has a little bit of an obsession with the Harbaugh family.
Right.
Okay,
he wanted Jim at one
his
point,
name
right?
was on the business school. His name is on the business school at Michigan. That's the connection. So he's known the Harbaugh family for a long time. And if you guys remember in 2011 when Jim Harbaugh was leaving Stanford, Miami did not fire Tony Sparano, God rest his soul, right? Did not fire him, yet still tried to fly Jim Harbaugh into Florida to meet with him. Got busted by the media on the tarmac. It became a big thing, right? Harbaugh winds up not going to Miami, but going to San Francisco because he already lived in the area. And so, there was
hello.
There was that. There was that part. There was that.
Yoo-hoo.
And then about 7 years ago, they no, 6 years ago, the Harbaugh was in a contract negotiation with the Ravens, didn't know which way it was going to go, and the Dolphins lurked as the other team. And so I just think this whole thing
lurking dolphin.
No, I just lurk. What you doing? Go ahead. All right. So they wanted him.
So anyway, there's been a thing there between the I feel like Steve Ross's white whale has been John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh, the Harbaugh family, and I don't know for sure that he's going to land him.
Okay,
because
so
would they hire a GM because they're in?
And that's going to be the tell because that's the other thing. And that when I was digging around on this over the last few days, so the Dolphins put in 6 interview requests on Monday for general manager candidates. Every single one of them had a connection to Mike McDaniel, all 6 of them. Then on Tuesday morning, they put in a 7th general manager request. That's the Chargers assistant general manager, Chad Alexander, who works with Jim Harbaugh, who spent over a decade before that in Baltimore.
Okay.
So it's just there's a lot of
you're talking about this and we're talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. I heard a report this morning from a national guy, and he's using all these clandestine terms like, well, Mike McDaniel was assured that he had the job and was behaving in that way. He was setting up exit. He was doing the exit interviews with players. He was talking with Quinn Ewers about the offseason throwing program.
He was
doing
telling
all this
friends
stuff.
who expressed confidence that he was staying. All of that stuff.
And the end of it was, Bert, but obviously someone in the Dolphins spoke with someone somewhere about the possibility of someone else being available, and they changed their minds on this. I'm like, why aren't people just saying it? It's so obvious to me what's going on. Harbaugh became available, and they said, you are fired. You're fired. Because isn't that what happened?
Oh, you are fired.
We were going to keep you until we found out that John Harbaugh.
We let go of everyone else
available.
around you, but you're staying.
So
no, you're not.
So now you're fired.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
I mean, look, they're going to position it like that's not, but it is what happened.
Okay. Thank you.
It is
Thank
what
you.
happened.
Because I thought it was going crazy.
I'm just telling you, again, you guys can look at, I wrote 2 weeks ago, and 2 weeks ago, I was flat out told, if Mike McDaniel gets fired, it's probably because either John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin became available. And on Monday and Tuesday, and
neither one of those guys were available.
Most of the day Wednesday, neither one of those. Or wait, was it Tuesday night? Tuesday night he got fired, right? So Monday, Tuesday, he was not available. Wednesday, he was available. Thursday, Mike McDaniel gets fired.
Is it just as simple as Tyler Loop making that kick or missing that kick? Is he still with Baltimore?
Did you see the picture?
I did, Tom. If it's down the middle,
did you see that?
Tomlin's fired. If it's wide left or right,
It was like there was a meme
Harbaugh's
on
fired.
social
Yeah.
media where it had the goalposts in Pittsburgh the other night, and in the middle of the goalpost it said Tomlin fired, and then on each side it said Harbaugh fired.
But is it just that simple? I'm wondering.
I don't know if Tomlin. I don't think they were. I don't think the Steelers were.
Well, no,
firing
I was asking more for
I think it's
Baltimore's
possible.
case.
I mean, I still think it's possible.
He would have been fired even if Luke makes that kick.
No, I think it's still possible. Well, I think it's possible that Tomlin still walks away and does TV. Like, I think that's sort of independent on what happens here. Like, I don't think, like, Tomlin's fate was tied to it. I think Harbaugh's fate was more tied to it because Harbaugh, like, a huge piece of where they're at was the expectations for this year were sky high. They thought they had maybe their best roster in the last 15 or 20 years.
He's
And
bad
to go
in the
8-9.
playoffs. I mean, be careful what you wish for. He's not very good in the playoffs. He was
Well, he
in the
has
beginning
been.
of the beginning of his career.
How much do you tie to Lamar?
Yeah, but fine. Look, it's everyone's responsibility. But if you have a top tier roster
Mhm.
and you don't win in the playoffs, and that's what gets your guy fired, I'm not confident that you're bringing in a guy that is going to be better than that. And I'm also not confident that when you fire Mike McDaniel, that you're bringing in a guy that's necessarily going to be better than. I mean, McDaniel has a winning record with Tua. Tua led the league in passing 2 years ago. Tua's not a good quarterback.
He did a great job with Tua.
Yeah, and he did it. And yours isn't good. And not probably going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. You would agree, right? Yours is probably not going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Probably not.
And he at least made yours look semi-competent. Like McDaniel, just everyone needs
He's
to be a little
good coach.
careful what they wish for.
It wasn't in reference to Steve Ross, but it applies to him. Somebody said something to me the last couple of weeks that I thought was really interesting. Is the most dangerous owners in sports are the ones that have more money than time. And, it's like one of those where it's like, yeah, Mike McDaniel did a good job, but am I going to win a Super Bowl with him? And I only have so much time left.
Right.
So
Well, that's the Jimmy Johnson thing that he
Yeah.
wants to set the record for Super Bowls before he dies, and that would be very difficult for him to do. Yeah, I think that the expectations a lot of times are. And it's funny, I heard Mad Dog doing this, and it's something that anyone could do in their own brains. I mean, if you go through who's won Super Bowls, like what quarterbacks have won Super Bowls, it's like Mahomes, Brady, Bradshaw,
Montana.
and Montana like have won
Like 50% of them.
Yeah, like a third of them.
Yeah.
And so or maybe even more. And so it's just like,
Well, that's what kills me about like the whole. So, like in a lot of ways, what like Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson are dealing with is the same thing that Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers and they didn't win, but it was the Patriots blocking them every time from doing it. And more recently, it's like, yeah, these guys haven't won, but look what was in their way, you
Right.
know? And so I do think that's a piece of it. I mean, here's the reality of it is there aren't enough Super Bowls played for everybody to win 3 of them. You know what I mean?
and it's a relatively
Yeah.
new thing as these championships go. I mean, the Super Bowl's only been around since the 60s. I mean, it hasn't been around forever. Anyway, so the reason I brought up coaching is I did think this was funny and it could get us into something is that I mentioned the Ringer. They have the 32 coaches available to be hired, the most likely candidates.
32 of them, huh?
Well, there's a joke in this. Okay. And that number 32 is our own Bill Belichick, and it has his coaching influences. Bill Parcells and Jordan Hudson are his. Now there are. Now I do find this interesting. There has been actual talk. Thomas Brown, by the way, from the Patriots. He's a coach apparently on the Patriots. He's
passing game coordinator.
He's the 31st of the candidates, but just ahead of Belichick.
Just ahead of Jordan's protege.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're out there. I think Diana Rossini, who does not like us, said that teams were interested in him. There's no way, right?
It wasn't Diana.
It wasn't Diana?
Josina, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Josina.
Diana doesn't like you guys?
No.
Well,
Diana Rossini does not like us. No.
She sent us pastry.
She sent us pastry because
And croissant.
she was being corny during something. We were like, "Oh, you're corny," and then she sent us pastries like,
I like
because
Diana.
I'm a woman.
Diana's note is currently right in front of Fred's position there.
Yeah,
It's a-
Hardy, read it to him because
Read
it's
that.
so like passive aggressively, like we didn't even do anything.
It was.
It's funny.
It really was like a low level, just like goofing on like an
interview she did.
asked. Yeah, it was
she
like,
did like an interview in a post game thing that was just like
How long
corny.
was it?
during training camp, I think.
Maybe during training camp.
Yeah.
year.
As a woman,
Oh,
in
that was a Diggs interview. I remember
Yeah,
that.
whatever.
Yeah.
Let him read it.
As a woman in sports, it's also my job to make sure men are well fed. Thanks for your support. Best, Diana.
Yes. That's I'm a woman and you dared to poke fun at me.
Thank you.
I think she's trying to be funny there.
Yeah, she's
I
trying to
know
be
her,
funny.
so I think she's trying to be funny there.
Well, then tell her to make it more clear because it seemed a lot.
Do you want me
like,
to fix this for you? I'll help fix this for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't want anyone disliking me. I don't think it was fair.
Okay, I'll fix this for you.
Oh, thanks, Bert.
I'll
Well,
work
I
on it
don't
today.
care either, but when he brought up Rossini, yeah, if
I'm just trying to
It
contribute.
sounded
to the
like
show.
you cared 10 seconds
Well
ago.
done.
You're whining. I don't want anyone
Way to
to
go.
like me. That's you.
I was trying to do my part here.
Peacemaker. Nice job.
that tracks. That tracks. I'm always
Oh,
trying.
that's another term
please
kids
fix
use
it,
that I started
please,
to hate.
please.
What?
That tracks.
Oh, that's been around since like a few good no, it's been around since like Casablanca.
I still like it. It's in Casablanca. Yeah, isn't it?
Humphrey Bogart
This is
said at
Charles-
the end, that
Charlie
tracks.
Chaplin.
Yeah, that tracks is in like our game.
Play it
Black
again,
and white.
Sam. Yeah, that tracks.
No, like
Dun, 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 dun.
there's a lot of phrases you could have done. That tracks, I don't think is that. I didn't learn that on Instagram.
That's not our generation.
Well, then it's the generation of our great grandparents.
That's not. No.
That tracks.
It's okay to say that tracks.
That's been around for before I've been
I don't know.
alive.
You don't say it?
I don't say it. No.
I don't care that you don't say
I
it.
would
He's a
never say it.
wordsmith. That's beneath him.
That I guarantee you can find the movies from the 1930s that says that tracks in it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
I felt good.
Bring your best, and everybody knows that. So that's the
Robinhood.com/money. Robinhood.com/money.
You got some Patriots tickets at the end of this segment, too. You got that there, too.
Thank you. Listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win tickets to the Patriots game on Sunday night, and that is a playoff game, ladies and gents. And at 9:40, we'll have tickets again. But, and this is, okay, Bert, I'm going to have this conversation I've been annoyingly having with everyone. I've been told the answer, but in your knowledge of, you're in media around the NFL, what is the biggest slot for a NFL playoff game?
I think it's the 4:30 Sunday slot.
Kaboom! Yeah. I thought it was the Sunday night game.
No, it's the 4:30 Sunday slot.
Isn't that interesting? And that is so NFL, because any other sport would have to put it in prime time, right?
Right.
So like it's just the NFL is so confident they can get that many eyes on it.
But that's what that's when the biggest number has generally been.
Viewing habits being what they are.
Yeah, I mean, like in prime time, there's more competition. Like so, at 4:30, it's late enough. See, 1 o'clock still in the middle of the day. 4:30, there's less competition, but you still get like the benefit of it being later in the day and people being at home.
1 o'clock on the West Coast.
Yeah, I mean, so that's always what it's been like, that the Sunday 4:30, which is why you generally get those NFC East teams in that slot. Like you oftentimes would see the Cowboys would be in that slot. In this case, I can't remember the last time. Like,
Eagles.
Huh? Yeah, the Eagles are in the slot.
Well, Eagles and 49ers, yeah. Do the Cowboys, does the AFC?
I mean, if the question is, like, the Patriots aren't the draw they were 10 years ago because they don't have a brand that's impervious to winning and losing and celebrity. Like, there are only a few of those. You know what I mean?
But my thing wasn't even about like if the Patriots deserve to be in it or whatever. I mean, it's a cool game. I like the Sunday night game in terms of the teams playing. I think it's an interesting matchup. But
you're going to be waiting all day for Sunday night.
You know, I hate when I can't do Francesa right now unless I hear him. But I hate when, I've been watching football all day. Waiting all day for Sunday night. I've been watching football. I've been waiting all day. That made Francesa crazy. He's like, we've all been watching football all day. How dare you say I've been waiting for this? But so the NFC East carries as much weight as it did, I guess, because the Eagles are the.
Well, it's not the division as much as it is the brands. I mean, like, those are all four of those teams are massive.
Cowboys,
brands,
Giants.
Massive markets, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles is a big market.
All four of those markets are bigger than the Boston market, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and all four of those brands are historic. All four of them are, like, historic, like, franchises that go way back, and I think the Cowboys are the newest of those franchises. I think the others all go back to the 20s and 30s.
Mm-hmm. But the Cowboys, for some reason, in the 70s, pulled in millions and millions and millions and millions of fans. Whatever they did in the 70s.
Marketing genius. It was Tex Stram and
America's
NFL
team.
Films. And yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because we had this story during the week, what is going on with the Commanders? We're reading a story that it's essentially a dumpster fire in the front office after a run to the NFC Championship game last year.
But also during the run to the NFC Championship.
Also behind the scenes, it's been terrible.
Yeah, they so, like, I think there's a lot of pressure on people to win there next year. And, I think, like, a huge piece of what happened over the course of the last week was the vision for the offense and where they wanted to take the quarterback over the next couple of years didn't align between Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury, so you have that breakup. And then, like, sort of that pressure that there is on Dan Quinn to win now, because you do have the young quarterback. And this is going to be a big year for the young quarterback, too, because he's eligible, same as Drake May, for a deal after next year. If you see some opportunities out there, like Raheem Morris, who Dan Quinn is, like, best, like, they go way back. They go back to, like, working together at Hofstra.
Okay.
Right? Like, so Raheem Morris is available. Jeff Ulbricht's available on the defensive side. So, obviously you walk away from both coordinators. You fire both coordinators. there's going to be fallout. And so they're trying to get things aligned now, and it seemed like everything was aligned great going into the year. But it just goes to show you how fragile these things can be too. You know, you have a quarterback injury, and the quarterback, you know, and you know, they had injuries elsewhere too, and things went a completely different way than they went last year. And now some of these things kind of reveal themselves.
And that's what you got to hope doesn't happen with the Patriots, as, you know, the Patriots are here Sunday night playing the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
As matchups go, how favorable is this as opposed to what could have happened for the Patriots?
Yeah, I think it's I think the Chargers would view it as a favorable matchup for them, really for one specific reason, because the Chargers' biggest problem is on the offensive line. And so what the Chargers couldn't afford to have happen is to draw a Houston or a Pittsburgh in the first round, where, like, now all of a sudden, okay, we have our backup tackles blocking T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith, or Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. Like, I don't know that the Patriots can threaten them the same way with that. The key for the Chargers is going to be, like, muddying up the game and turning it into their type of game and running the ball and staying out of long yardage so the Patriots can't dial stuff up. And they should come in here with confidence. I mean, the last time they were here, I've heard people talk about the weather all week. Did they not have access to last year's game?
That was a 6-0 and a driving downpour. Is that right?
No, it was 40-7. They won.
I'm thinking about before that.
No,
Yes.
the Chargers came in
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
And, like, I know people are dismissing it now, but it's at least proof that team can play in weather.
Different team.
I'm not saying the Patriots aren't different. I'm saying, like, the Chargers
No.
have, like, kind of showed their ability to come up here and perform in the weather.
Defensively, do they have enough variety? Because I've been, you know, listening and reading about breakdowns of the Chargers defense a lot. How they prefer to play zone. They really don't. They don't get away from that too much. Do they have enough variety in their, I guess, defensive bag to change things up and confuse Drake May and make it a problem for Josh McDaniels to figure it out?
They're like the Patriots in that they rely on being structurally sound more than they do trying to confuse everybody. You know, so. It is,
because I think that's a major component. The more I hear it, the more I think about it, the more I think it's right. Like, your best chance at somehow, you know, turning Drake May back into a pumpkin is to confuse him, get him off his game early, and get him thinking about stuff, and maybe tricking him to throwing a bad interception like he did into the red zone a couple of weeks ago. Like, you know, just stuff like that. But I don't know that the Chargers have it within them defensively to change what they do all that much.
I would disagree with that. Like, I think that they can morph and change. Like, are they going to throw a zillion things at you in a single game? No. But they have one of the best players in the league at any position on their defense, and that's Derwin James. And I would say he changes absolutely everything for them, because when he hasn't been in there, it changes what they do. Like, they're in nickel a lot when he's in there, and he's basically the nickel. So he plays like a slot corner type of position. What that does is, you know, normally when you know, if a defense goes into the nickel, right? Like, you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna run it at them. The problem is Derwin James is almost like a linebacker, right? Like, so you can't run at them in the nickel the same way you can run at other teams, which allows them to keep their passing game personnel out there. And, like, they move Derwin around a lot, you know, so it kind of can screw with some things in your running game. And so I think that that's the interesting part of this. Like, that's where, like, losing Matt Collins is a factor this week. And, you know, if you get Pop Douglas or Stephon Diggs not wanting to block out of the slot, Derwin James is going to blow up your run game. And now all of a sudden you're in long yardage, and that changes things, of course, for any quarterback. So, and Drake's been great in long yardage, but there's challenges in what they do.
The thing about long yardage, and I don't know if you're referring specifically to this, but that, like, I guess Buffalo confused, or didn't confuse, but stopped the Patriots in the second half of that game, they came back and by playing 2 high safeties and taking away the deep pass. But since then, the Patriots have had a tremendous amount of success running the ball.
So that's the thing. So like what you're talking about, right? And so that's where Derwin is really, really valuable. Is he allows you to play with 2 high safeties, and he's almost like having like another corner, another safety, and another linebacker on the field all at once.
Okay.
So you would think like, all right, they're 2 high safeties, we're going to run at them. Okay, they're 2 high safeties, and they're in their nickel, we're going to run at them. But Derwin James kind of has the ability to blow all of that up. So I'm just telling, like, I think he is the key to so many things on Sunday night. And like, he's the one player that I think that they have to be most worried about, because I think he's the one that allows them. I mean, he essentially allows you to play your base defense out of a nickel look, which is why these positionless players, it's like Kyle Hamilton in Baltimore,
Yeah.
It's why these positionless players are so valuable in today's NFL.
And maybe why that kid from Ohio State, that safety from Ohio State, will be a very high pick in the draft. Okay, so it sounds like if this was an interesting thing, I heard Paul Perillo talk about it. We talked about it with Phil Perry yesterday, but Perillo was the guy that really had an argument with Maserati about it. And Maserati was on the side you wouldn't think the side he'd be on. Who has a better roster?
He was being positive about it.
Yeah. Maz was pro Patriots on this, and Perillo was not anti anyone, but just disagreed. Who has the better roster?
I think if they're healthy, the Chargers have a better roster. But I'd say they're missing 2 of their 5 best players, 2 of their 4 best players.
The 2 tackles.
Yeah. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. Like, if you had to rank their 4 best players, probably the quarterback, Derwin James, the 2 tackles.
But who has a better defense, personnel-wise?
Chargers.
Okay, because that's what Perillo said, and he said in all 3 tiers. And then we had Phil on, and he absolutely disagreed.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know if all 3 tiers, I'd really have to look at that. But, so the Chargers, they're different types of defenses, too. But the Chargers' edge players are absolutely better. Thule had 13.5 sacks, and then, you have Khalil Mack on the other side. You've got massive run players, right? Like, they're really big on the interior. And then Dan Henley's like the linebacker. His dad was, I think, Suge Knight's bodyguard or something like that.
Really? Yeah, but also in the Eagles.
Yeah. So, but this guy's like this is another one who's I think a tremendous young player. He's a captain for them already, and I think he is better than any linebacker the Patriots have.
Even the great...
probably by a relatively wide margin. Dan Henley.
Well, that's not fair, because everyone knows that when the Patriots do not have a certain middle linebacker, Mr. Spillane, on
Robert
the field.
Spillane, yes.
Spillane's a good player, but Henley is like a...
He's
I
the
want to see if
key.
he made the Pro Bowl. Hold on. Dan Henley... didn't make the Pro Bowl, but he's in his 3rd year. He's been fantastic.
He's not better than Spillane.
Spillane would have made the Pro Bowl if everyone didn't think he was a hard attitude detective. I'll tell you that. All right. Well,
so
look.
he is the son of Eugene Big U Henley Jr., alleged leader of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips.
Well, listen, I don't need them mad at me, so God bless them all. All right, listen, car number 10 now to the contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll score a pair of tickets to see the Patriots take on the L.A. Chargers Sunday night at Gillette Stadium. In the wild card game, we'll have another opportunity coming up at 9:40 here. we are Toucher and Hardy. Nah, I want this one on the highly. This one. Listen, if I'm the DJ, I'll be playing Saxon. Denim and Leather album, pretty much front to back.
Yeah, good luck, dude.
Good luck, dude. Fred, just did a sale. Gonna start asking for a lot of favors. We're bros.
No
Just
one's
get
helping
it
you out.
done.
You're on your own, dude.
So Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers, they're going to have a big tent with barbecue and things before the game on Sunday at Gillette.
There you
They're
go.
going to be at the at Rodman Ford, handing out. They have two big signs involving Drake May is like a part of the whole sayings. It doesn't matter what they say. So if you'd like food and to pick up a nice sign for the game to hold up,
John Cook Shrimp Scampi.
Go to Rodman Ford, but starting Sunday at 4 p.m. Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers 10.
I
And
do
there you
cook?
go. And that is that. I have done that.
We got an email here, Bert, because earlier you chastised Fred for using the phrase something tracked. He said that tracks. And you said, well, isn't that one of those banned phrases? You know, you really can't say that. That's new. Email here from Bill. Good morning, guys. A quick AI search on Google shows Bert uses tracks quite often.
No, I don't.
According to the printout here, below are specific instances and context from Albert Breer's X profile. Pete Carroll and Greg Olson, January 2025. Breer noted that reports of Pete Carroll continuing to work with Greg Olson tracks because of their long-standing professional relationship and shared offensive philosophies.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Nathaniel Hackett's Zoom teaching, August 2022. Breer posted that Hackett hiring a professional science teacher to help him better engage players during remote meetings tracks with Hackett's known preoccupation with finding unconventional ways to keep players focused.
The internet never forgets, Bert.
All right, so say Bert doesn't use
So that's
it.
like twice in 5 years.
Okay, can I just do? I'll
apologize.
just do this now. The phrase "that tracks" means something that makes sense or consistent, stemming from the verb "track," meaning to fit or follow along. With his colloquial colloquial. Thank you. I knew I was pronouncing it wrong. Colloquial sense developing around early 20th century. Boom. Thank you. There you go. It's old. I knew it was. It's over
I
a
just feel
century
like,
old.
Well, then it's been repurposed and it's gotten
Well, not
to the
for
point where
me.
it's
I'm
annoyed
51, and it's been a long. It
Okay.
started in the early aughts of the 1900s. We are okay.
But I view it as like calling something mid or whatever. Mike
No,
Gensel
because
said.
they weren't calling things mid in the early 1900s. These are why these
See?
things are completely different. You're a little off the mark. I'm just telling you that it's in the Cambridge English Dictionary.
I'm looking at an editorial from the early 20th century here, where it said President Taft gets stuck in a bathtub. That tracks. It said it
'cause
right
he's
there.
a big fat so. Ever since that Garfield show you watched,
Like,
you're very
are you
into
looking like a
irrelevant presidency.
You know, somebody pointed out that as a history major, you should be very interested in James Garfield and his assassination.
I thought they were going to say I should have known about it, and I would say that's true because getting an undergraduate degree in history, you cover everything that ever happened.
Yeah.
In great detail. I was a big, not Civil War battles, but what they seemed to be focusing on a lot when I was in college was around the Civil War, the politics of it.
Well, this was post-Civil War politics, and it was kind of interesting. That it was tough for a president to really, go out there and make his mark, because it's like, we just had Lincoln.
Right.
Lincoln was the man.
Yeah. Can't follow that act.
And also, when there's an assassination of a very popular president, which Lincoln was very popular when he was assassinated, right? I know he
You're
was
the history
controversial.
major. You tell me.
Again, long time ago, not a lot of effort put into it, and also not everything in the history of the world that covered.
Yeah, that tracks.
But
not a lot of effort.
Oh, sure. When you were, what did you major in state communications?
Journalism.
Oh, journalism.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Were you
That's
part of?
That's a real major.
That is.
Michigan State's got a good journalism.
They got a great journalism school. All right, Bert, is
just like Northwestern's.
Are the are the Chargers the second best team that the Patriots will play this season?
Behind Buffalo?
Yeah.
Well, better coach combination than Buffalo.
Or are they the best team?
Coach quarterback
I don't think
combination.
they're better than Buffalo.
Bert Blast. Is there okay, how about this?
Bert Blast.
Is there a team in between Buffalo and the Chargers that the Patriots have played this season?
Well, I can answer that. No.
No.
But
I
I'm
don't
asking
think so.
Bert.
I have to look at their schedule again.
I can give you a hint. No other teams made the playoffs besides Buffalo.
No, I'd say the Chargers.
Bucks were real close.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a debate between them and the Ravens. If the Ravens are playing well, if the Ravens are 8-9,
and if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Steelers.
But the Chargers did a better job. Clearly,
Oh, they did play the
navigating injuries than the
Pwned.
Ravens did. So,
and they lost to the Steelers. So there you go. But I would say that the Chargers are better than the Steelers. The Steelers are the second worst team in the playoffs overall.
I mean, I think the game is a legitimate toss-up. I think if you lose the game, I'm not going to view the season as a failure, despite what you might hear some other places on this station.
Well, we've had writers on it say they really should win one game.
It's okay to.
There's a difference between there's difference between a failure and a game you should win. Yeah,
there's a difference between failure and disappointment. Like I'd be disappointed if they lost.
Of course, you should be disappointed if they lose a home playoff game.
Here's the way I look at it. It's fine to be disappointed. You should be disappointed if your team loses, right? And I don't care who wins the game one way or the other. You guys know that. You should be disappointed if your team loses. A week, 2 weeks out, I don't think you're going to view the season as a failure. I just don't.
Of course not.
And
of course not. No one thought they were going to win 14
I think it'd be
games.
asinine. It's asinine to even push that train of thought that everything that you built over the course of the last 9 months gets torn down. If the Bills lose this weekend, their season is a failure.
Yes.
If the Eagles lose this weekend, their season is a failure.
Fair enough.
You are not that. That's not you, right?
You know what?
Right.
You know what, Bert? Out of all the teams in the playoffs, I think that Carolina and New England are the two teams that could make the biggest argument that if they don't lose, their season wasn't. Lose, that their season wasn't a failure.
If the Steelers lose this weekend, their season's a failure.
Exactly, because they brought in Rodgers. So, I mean, think about it. If the Rams lose, it's a huge failure. If Green Bay loses, it's a huge failure because they were picked by some people to be the best team.
And when
team
I
in the
say
league.
house money, that's what I mean.
Right. So, I mean, Jacksonville more of a failure than New England. So
I think Jacksonville's still
they're still building something, but and they found a coach, and all those are positives. But you have Trevor Lawrence, who's a veteran, a bit of a veteran now. I would put New England's expectations going to the season behind Jacksonville's even.
And I think the Chargers to some degree are a little bit of a house money team because of the injury situation. So it's if you look at where they're at, it's very easy.
But another coach quarterback thing going into the season that you knew that you had.
Yeah.
The Patriots didn't have any idea.
Right.
I would take it the people around the Patriots in the building didn't have any idea May was going to be this good.
Right. If they lose Sunday night, Monday morning, be disappointed. I'm with you. It's sort of the same way. I look at because I can kind of relate. The way I relate with it would be what I felt like with Ohio State. I was devastated the night they lost.
No cigar this time.
No cigar this time. But a week or two out, we had 14 guys drafted last year. We had because I went to school there. We
no, it is we because
I went to school there.
He's orchestrating payments to the
That's
team.
a good point. I forgot about that.
I'm a rogue booster now. I didn't know if you knew that.
Oh, he's on the field and everything.
Not all that rogue.
Yeah, not that rogue. I mean,
it's pretty obvious.
I know. Now he's right down the middle.
I'm like the car dealer in Friday Night Lights.
You really are when it comes right down to it.
No, he's the between all these loser millionaires. They just want their names on things in the team.
But my point is I think Monday morning, if the Patriots lose on Sunday,
yes,
Monday morning you should wake up disappointed. I'm not saying that's not okay. You should be disappointed.
Yeah, you'd be disappointed, but the season wasn't a failure.
But then by the end of the week, you're going to look back at it and you're going to say, you know what? Look, we have a 23-year-old quarterback. We have one of the top 10 coaches in the sport. We are in really great shape coming out of this, and that was a great first year.
And next year they could win the division. They certainly should be a wild card team, but they ain't winning 14 games.
But I don't have to set up shows for the next week, so that's just where I'm at.
Well, I mean,
Bert Blast.
That's him taking shots at other shows.
Wow.
Yeah, I would be disappointed, of course, if I'm a fan, but it's of course not a failure.
But you're a Jets fan, so you wouldn't be disappointed if the Patriots lost.
I honestly wouldn't mind them winning this game at all. I wouldn't mind talking about another playoff game.
That's true.
Of course not. I wouldn't mind that. It's exciting.
Yeah.
And I don't dislike Vrabel, and I certainly don't dislike May. I hate Belichick, and I hated him at the time, and you know why I hate him. He's a dick in real life, behind the scenes, and Brady's like a nerd alien that I don't care for either, who has no idea how to act. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Thank you, Bert.
All right, thanks, guys.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let me tell you about Valvoline.
Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are without offensive lineman Garrett Bradbury, Vidarian Lowe, and Thayer Mumford at practice yesterday, along with defensive lineman Kairos Tonga. It is the second straight absence for Bradbury, the team's starting center. Patriots host the L.A. Chargers in a first-round playoff game this coming Sunday night. L.A. was without starting running back Omarion Hampton for a second straight day as well. In other NFL news, the Miami Dolphins have fired head coach Mike McDaniel. In college football news, the Miami Hurricanes got a late touchdown. They beat Mississippi last night, 31-27 in the national semifinals. The Hurricanes will now play either number 1 Indiana or Oregon a week from Monday. That matchup is the Peach Bowl tonight in Atlanta. As for the Bruins, they returned from an up-and-down road trip with a solid home win last night, 4-1 over Calgary. Jonas Korpisalo was the star of the game for the Bruins in the win with 28 saves in net. Marco Sturm was more than happy for him.
Even for him, being on the road and, it's not easy always for a goalie, and especially yesterday, long flight, quick practice today, this morning, and I'm very happy. He kept us in the game pretty solid, and especially in the second period, so I'm glad he had a good game.
Sean Corrali added a goal and an assist. The Bruins host the Rangers tomorrow. The Celtics use the building for basketball tonight. They play Toronto as they continue a 4-game homestand. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 6:30 and the tip-off at 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the Red Sox assigned Tanner Houck, Tristan Casas, Romy Gonzalez, and Johan Oviedo to one-year contracts, avoiding salary arbitration in all 4 cases. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If your home or business has a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, or drain issue that can't wait, you need to call 128 now at 888. Call 128. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Now the Patriots with their Rojo Rising throws to the near side. The catch is made by Hunter Henry.
The NFL playoffs return to Foxborough. The New England Patriots take on the Los Angeles Chargers Sunday night at 8. And from the first snap to the final play, you'll hear it all right here. Unbelievable. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Worky can move.
Yeah.
Oh, no. They definitely had him dance because he can dance.
Yeah.
Like, there's no doubt. Like, the producers were thinking, here's the problem. The producers were thinking, wow, this kid can dance. Like, and Fight the Power is a cool song. I like that Public Enemy let him use it. I mean, it really does speak to the revolutionary spirit of the song. And they were like, sure, yeah, use it on that Life Goes On Friday nights or whatever it was on. But the funniest thing about it is the parents like, oh, no, our son has gotten very militant.
Well, they didn't like the bad-mouthing Elvis in the song.
Yes.
Because he was a hero to most, but he never
They were
met
scared of the
me.
S1Ws as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but originally they were going to bring the noise, and it was just going to be just the Farrakhan part.
On a loop. Farrakhan's a prophet that I think you ought to listen to.
What he can say to you. What you want to do is follow.
for now.
We all know that. All right. So the reason you played that, Adam, as it is Cedric Maxwell scheduled to join us next break, as we MTV now MTV stopped playing videos pretty much on their, or they entirely did on their main network. It was for a long time just the show with the Rob Dyrdek, who's
Robin Big,
who's the girl on that show, the blonde girl on that show.
Ridiculousness is the show you're talking
Mom
about.
is porn star Penny Porsche.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I found that out the other day while watching Instagram, and so now I'm fascinated by that. And she has not rejected her mother, which is you have to give her a lot of credit for.
Nice.
Now, no longer a porn star, but at one point a MILF porn star. But aren't they all now? I mean, that's pretty much taken over the whole industry. But the stations that showed videos, at least in Europe, have signed off now.
Correct.
So in Europe, MTV is no longer a music television network. It plays Jersey Shore, which even I've backed out on. Someone who's watched the original Jersey Shore at least 3 times all the way through. I don't watch it anymore. Like, I don't care. Like, Diener's the only one with any, like, chutzpah going on anymore. And when I interviewed Snooki, she wouldn't answer the tough questions. And she just seemed like kind of above it all. And I didn't care for her attitude with that. Because I don't think Snooki's better than me. I don't. I wouldn't trade careers with Snooki. I don't.
You're just jealous.
No. I'm.
You assure me that you're not jealous of Snooki?
If you said, God said to you, Fred, you could come back as a 5 years younger, 4'11" woman who's known for being drunk on Jersey Shore, I'd say I'd take being a 50-year-old man known for being drunk on the radio.
Yes,
is what I would take. But nonetheless, this is an exercise just kind of in the spirit of the MTV going off the air. And what is this?
Yes,
Adam?
well, John Wallach found this list.
Oh, it's going to not be good.
No, it's good. It's good. It's music videos MTV was showcasing this week in 1989. And this
okay, so this is bad for the audience because I'll have been 14 during this period of time, which means that there will be, and there you have to remember there was no internet.
Right.
And I had 2 porn magazines. Maybe at this time only 1 because it might be pre-Jugs. It might when I had the Adult Video News, which is more of an industry magazine than anything else.
No, Jugs was around in '89.
I know Jugs was around, but I didn't own the Jugs that I had that my mother put on my bed after she made it one day.
Okay.
Which now that I have kids, I say, never in a trillion years would I make my son's, or for that matter, my daughter's bed and find a porn magazine and lay it on the pillow as if I found your porn magazine. Here's this big passive-aggressive tactic. I would just go, okay, you have a porn magazine. That'd be like me going through, the equivalent of that would be me going through their phones, screenshotting like if they looked at porn and then emailing it to them.
Yeah.
And going like, so you looked at porn. Now I tell them, you have too much porn available to you. Be careful with that stuff. But I can't monitor them all the time. I can only give them advice that, there's consequences to that. But go ahead.
So, MTV, the list that John found has these categories. And for instance, they added this week in 1989 the Guns N' Roses Paradise City video to rotation. They also added this video to rotation.
Okay. By the way, Cinderella was not a terrible band. And Tom Kiefer, decent songwriter, and kind of they picked a terrible name, and I think Bon Jovi pushed him in that direction because they were the band that signed him and took all their money, John Bon Jovi. And like Cinderella unfairly labeled as hair metal, I believe. Go ahead.
Has Kiefer sat in on the Eddie Trunk show?
I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I would say, duh.
Okay, so you remember MTV had this thing called the Buzz Bin, right? Where they would feature a cool new video in the Buzz Bin. Well, I mean, this was featured in the Buzz Bin this week in 1989, Hardy.
Okay. Oh,
well,
okay.
Stand, of course.
Yeah, Stand by REM, of course.
First single from the Green album.
But you know what? This one was also featured in that Buzz Bin back in this week.
Oh, that is Edie Brickell and New Bohemians.
Yeah, but call me when it's Brand Nubian sampling this for Slow Down.
Yes, that's right.
And I would like to amend something. I think Orange Crush they may have tried as the first single from the REM Green album. They sent it out on orange vinyl.
But you all know Brand Nubian's sampling of this for the song Slow Down.
Yes.
Honey's got a problem with the bends, means she loves to bend over.
Oh, there we go. We can do this one, too. This was in the Buzz Bin. Give it a moment.
Oh, this is They Might Be Giants. It's not Anna Ing, is it?
It is Anna Ing. Oh, look at Hardy just knocking it out of the park with the Buzz Bin. Well done, well done. Okay, so let's move
They Might
along.
Be Giants live. A bit of a chore.
Oh, I enjoy that
Why?
show.
Is it just, of course
they would play
the two of them?
They'd play the Hat Shell back in the 90s, and they'd get a big conga line going through the crowd. Free show because there's like, thousands of people there.
Were you the Might Be Giants guy, John?
No.
So there was a guy in my fraternity, and I never knew why he was in it. He loved Star Wars and They Might Be Giants. Like, they were the two things that he loved. Now, he ended up transferring out of school because he was one of these kids that, like, desperately wanted to make movies, and his whole identity was wanting to make movies.
Okay.
He was a real Dawson type from Dawson's
Right,
Creek,
right.
And a little insufferable. I don't think he's making movies.
Do you
so
remember
congratulations, you stupid failure.
Do you remember his name?
Not his last name. No, he only was there as a freshman, but he was in my fraternity, and I'm like, why is he in this fraternity? He's annoying, and he likes stupid things.
I want him out of my club.
Yeah, get out of my club. So he left. I drove him away.
MTV This Week in 1989. This was a featured video in the sneak preview category.
Oh, please. 17.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw sparks fly from the corner of my eye. Feels good. Stepping on that borderline.
It's not a bad song. Like for that era and these songs, it's not a bad song. It's got a big hook to it. Don't love
it
the
was love at
message,
first
but, you know.
sight. She said, "Take it easy." I didn't catch your name.
Every one of these bands, every one of these songs, they had the same production value, the same reverb. They were using the same vocal effects. I didn't like any of it.
But the thing about Kip Winger is that you knew he studied ballet because he would often take his left hand off the bass in order to twirl. Now, not to be confused with the bass player for Cinderella that would throw the bass around his neck.
Oh, okay.
You know, do you remember that move?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. The blonde kid, Eric, I believe was his name. He would throw that around his neck.
Let's get into the songs that were in heavy rotation, John.
Well, everyone knows these songs.
You know,
Yeah,
Rosie Greer studied ballet, too. I believe we found that
and
on
you
the
know
Brady
on the Brady Bunch, and because they were making fun of Bobby or Peter for being in the choir.
Yeah.
And then not Rosie Greer, Deacon Jones. Deacon Jones was the guy that took ballet.
I'm not messing with Fred on this. I'm sure he's right.
No, it was
But,
Deacon Jones.
Yeah.
And he played for the Rams. It was Deacon Jones.
Right.
And Deacon Jones showed up much like Joe Namath did. But you know how Joe Namath showed up?
Drunk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Was it Marcia's birthday? No. What was it?
It was her.
Greg pretended that someone that Bobby was going to die, or Bobby pretended that he was going to die.
Okay.
And Joe Namath came by the house to see him because he said that he was going to die. They played on the turf in the backfield, though.
Fred, I'm interested to know if this is this video features a very attractive brunette woman. I'm wondering if this was
the answer is yes.
of the interest to the 14-year-old.
Divine
Fred
I
Toucher.
touch myself.
No.
See, now this song I like.
If I could walk on water, you know what I'd do? I'd freebase on it.
I wouldn't have to put these plastic bags over my shoes to walk through the puddles.
Gobble, this is the money man.
If I could walk on water, no cops could get to me. I'd just be out there. I'd be freebasing. You can't walk on this water. You have to swim out here. And then I'll run away. You know where I got the idea of walk on water? One time I was on PCP and I drowned in Lake Erie.
Wow.
They had to pull me out. And as soon as they pulled me out, I said, my first word out of coma was glue. Glue. Someone hand me a bag with glue. If I could walk on water with...
Don't bum us out.
Don't bum us out.
It's a nutty time of the year, but hey.
If I could walk on water with you. Even I at 14 would not play with myself to an Eddie Money video. No, that wasn't
Apollonia
happening.
was in that one.
Yeah, Apollonia was never much
Shaken.
interested.
Ah,
was
that's right.
Apollonia?
She was she was in Shaken.
Yeah.
She
She
was the girl in
died.
the car.
She died of an OD too. Yeah, we were shaking. Her and I. Come on, man. Let's get this over with. We've been on.
It's called the Tremors.
I've been on this. I've been on this soundstage for 15 minutes. Come on, give me a fix.
All right, one more.
Give me some mouthwash. I need to keep time when we have some free time. I do want to do anything from the mid 90s or with John, like 95, 96, because it was a real cultural divided time. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because you'll have like Silverchair and Bush with like bad songs that were hits. But then you will have this like R&B stuff with groups, and not New Jack Swing because it was past that.
Yeah.
Like R&B groups with huge hits that I've never heard of the artist or the band. because I've been going through this thing where if I have like, I got to go downstairs so my cat can eat when I get home from work. So my dog will go down with me. And I'll just like play a 10-minute video of the top songs from like this week in 1997 or 1996. And even 2000 when I was in Atlanta and on the radio. And I'll be like, whoa, I was in like a 60% black community on the radio, and I'm completely unaware of these
you and
songs.
I had the same
Don't know the
experience.
artist, didn't hear the song.
Yeah, like no experience with the song at all, and they were giant hits,
See,
like Keith Sweat songs and stuff. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like, I don't know any
think
of this.
after New Jack Swing kind of faded out, and that was like a 3 or 4 year span. Those last 5 years of the '90s, we had the shared experience. I kind of faded out from music altogether.
So I obviously know who Brandy is, right? But
Right.
like Brandy has like 3 enormous hits, and I'm like, I've never heard any of these songs.
Right.
So there's this, and I would say that as bad as like the alternative music was, the R&B at that time was equally horrible.
Yeah, because that was like the post-grunge, like bands like Bush and Silverchair that just heard grunge and said, "Oh, we're going to copy that sound."
Yeah, and they're not particularly like, offensive songs. They're not like offensively bad, but they're like not good songs.
Right.
And the R&B's equally as bad. And it's just funny because the culture was so obviously divided in mainstream culture. So there were radio stations in Atlanta that I was because I knew about rap, like what rap was going on, but those weren't hits, Billboard hits. Like even the classic ones were not Billboard hits of that time. The Billboard hits were really bad R&B songs, which, John, I think you're right. I don't think you'd be aware of these either. It's it was interesting. It's not going to be interesting to the audience, but it was certainly very interesting to me. I'm like, dude, I've never heard of any of this stuff.
No.
And then there's REM songs that you were like, this was huge. It was on MTV all the time, but they weren't big top 100 Billboard hits. Very odd. Very odd. All right, look, we will be back. Cedric Maxwell. You just ask him anything from 1971, maybe anything from the movie Car Wash. He would be very, very familiar with. He seems to,
Or James Taylor.
But I think he does that to kind of throw a curveball to the audience. And maybe they get James Taylor to come out to a game, maybe sit in the booth as a gift to Grandy. Oh yeah,
He would really enjoy that.
Grandy only owned the WWF wrestling album. Yeah. That was the only album that he owned at the time. He was only into it if Roddy Piper was somehow on the cover. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with Cedric.
back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
You're sitting there calling a game, and Grandy goes into his intro, and he goes all these soliloquies, and Farrell Felger sits there and talks about, I roll my eyes when Sean Grandy starts talking at the end of the game or the beginning. Do you give the eye roll too?
No, I take a big gulp of my Pepsi. And I'm about to
changed it up, unfortunately. Cedric Maxwell, the Celtics color analyst on 98.5, the Sports Hub Celtics Radio Network. So everyone now has got a problem with Grandy's soliloquies. That's good to know. I'm glad. Did you know that, Cedric, there's only one man in the world with the guts to defend this team, and that is Cedric. That is your partner, Sean Grandy.
Yeah, well, I don't, what are you defending right now?
I don't know. I don't know.
If you look at this team overall, this team is in Boston sports. I think this team has overachieved. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody saw this team being where they are right now. Now they could fall off a cliff. I doubt it, but they're playing well. And Jaylen Brown, nobody would have had Jaylen Brown as one of the top 10 players in the NBA. I don't think nobody saw that. They didn't see Kata playing as well as he did. And Joe has mastered the right buttons. Hugo, guys like that coming off the bench. It's been a really interesting and a good year so far for the Celtics.
See, the one thing I would push back on, Max, though, is Jaylen Brown not thinking that he would be or could be a top 10 player this season specifically, because without Jason Tatum in there, he had, two ways he could go. He was either going to just, continue playing away, or he was going to elevate his game and accelerate things to take over. So he was put in a position to where, yeah, he could have been, and I would even argue should have been in the position to where he's being talked about like a top player in the league, because he's got the opportunity now this season.
But no one had him fifth in the league in scoring. I mean, this is another level above and beyond what we thought.
There you go. Look, watch Johnny Ball game. Yeah, that's how you bring it to the table right there. Shut him up, John. There you go.
Yeah.
He's a max player who's supposed to be this 1-2 punch with Tatum, and now that Tatum's out and he's got less help offensively this season, well, it's do or die. So he's doing it.
Well, and you look at, I remember one time looking at a guy, and I'm not kicking at him or whatever, but Draymond Green, when Steph Curry went out and Clay went out for the Golden State Warriors, everybody said this is going to be Draymond's team, and he's going to take over, and he's going to go to another level. Well, he averaged a single that year. I mean, it necessarily doesn't say that you're going to be better because you get the opportunities. You're going to be better because you mash the gas. Here's the thing that we all love about Jaylen Brown right now, that Jaylen Brown could be an asshole. And that to me is really cool to see. When I think about we've talked about this before, I said, you have to have some mean nastiness with your best players. And what you see consistently now is the mean Jaylen Brown, the mug face, getting up in the officials, almost to the point now he might have to back off of a little bit. But, what he did with Kawhi Leonard in the last time they played out there in L.A., he dominated that game and got 50 points. And he seemed like every year, every situation, he's starting to take it personal.
Okay.
And I do like that about him.
I like it too, and I don't mind the edge. What I don't like, Max, is when in the game the other night against the Nuggets, where he said afterward, look, I wasn't getting the calls. I was going into the paint, I didn't get a call all night. He starts to get a little pouty about it and starts turning the ball over and getting careless and reckless, and that I did not care for, because the way the entire team played down the stretch, obviously allowing that 12-0 run or 14-0 run, whatever it was. But Brown was a big part of that, because I think he let his frustrations get the best of him. And when your edge is going to manifest like that, that I don't like.
Yeah, I'm not particularly crazy about that. But would you rather for him to be aggressive than he's been before being passive? I mean, to show some emotion, to be pissed off. But I understand what you're saying. You can't do it to the point where you go over the top and you lose your edge and you lose your focus.
And lose the handle.
That's what happened in that game. I think that he lost his focus. So looking at the officials every time he went towards the basket, he is clearly getting contact. But sometimes when you start looking at these guys over and over again, they will not give you a call because you're looking at them.
I'll tell you what your partner said that I think was the last straw for a lot of people.
Well, what's his name?
His name is Sean. No, Sean $1,000 bill.
Thank you.
Is when he was like, why is no one talking about Anthony Simons as being sixth man of the year? And I would say because no one cares.
No one talks about this
because no one would talk because we all need to keep jobs and keep an audience engaged, and that would not be a conversation that would do so things.
I give you that one. At that particular time, that day, he was over the top with Anthony Simons, and I kept looking at him like, damn, are you his agent or something? Are you pushing it?
It's the thing is, like, even if it's true, no one cares.
And finally, when he made a basket, he said, I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Yeah, okay, great. It's January 9th. I got news for you. Yeah, you're the only one because you're the only one. The biggest Celtics fan in the world doesn't care. Maybe, and like you said, maybe his agent does, but no one else does.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares about. Here's the thing: when Jaylen Brown got to 50, I was more upset when he got to 50. Well, not upset about the 50, but the 30 points. They only tied Larry Bird's record, and we were keeping a run. Your guy John Wallach was keeping the stat on that. Oh, he's 30 and he's tied Larry for that. That's a meaningless record. It means nothing to me. Only thing it means to me is winning a basketball game. And I think when you get those stats out there, sometimes they get confusing. One stat that Sean gives that I have no idea, and I'm sitting beside him, is when he starts saying the Celtics score at a rate of 1.2, 2.5. This is the best. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. And you have to be a basketball purist to know that. I don't know what it means.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the thing is, but you played. You're telling me during timeouts, the coach didn't tell you at which rate you were going and how many, at 2.5 or 1.5, they weren't bringing that home to you?
I don't think we spilled those stats out when we were coming, because one thing, remember, the game is powered right now by analytics. And so the more stats you give, look, my daughter said something the other day. She said, Dad, what I did, I bet on the Celtics right now to be in the finals versus to parlay it against, I want to say it was OKC. And if that happens, I get $500. I'm like, damn. So the analytics of the game, they've kind of taken over, and to me, they kind of get in the way.
Well, they're also boring. Like, that's the thing. Is
Max was very definitive when I brought up that stat. He was like, "Stand down, nerd. Call the game."
Well, and this whole notion like of nerd stuff, and Cedric's not a nerd, so I'll give him a pass. But like when the Alex Barrs of the world are going, and the nerds are, and you're like, okay, Alex, like relax. All right, Fonzie, like taking some wild shots here from a very glass house. So, like, I do think it's funny when sports talk radio hosts are like, and the nerds, like, as opposed to you, who 20 hours a week are grumbling about sports like a maniac. Like, that's not exactly, you weren't playing CBGBs in '78. Like, I mean, come on. This isn't the coolest thing of all time. But yes, I just, my problem with analytics more than anything is, well, in baseball, I think that they're not a proper way to always evaluate things. But second of all, is that they're not entertaining. Like it's if I see an article and they're like going, I was just looking at one, like possible trades this NBA season, and there'll be two names that you think are interesting, and then it will get broken down in such a way you're just like, well, now I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
now I don't even want it to happen.
Took all the fun out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but
this guy rebounds at this rate, and then he can bring this to the. You don't know what he's going to bring to the table until he gets there. So you can have hopes. Here's a hope that I really have. I hope that people right now are recognizing what Brad Stevens has done this year so far, and what Joe Mazzulla has done. These two guys have really been exceptional. I love the way Mazzulla's coaching, and I love the picks and some of the possibilities. Like Hugo, man, he's going to be a good player. Now, he's the guy I'm going to speak highly of because he has just a nose for the ball. He understands the game in a way that you don't see with young players. And that is a nice pickup for the Celtics and what Brad was there. You know how many times we stuff people in, John would love this, how many times we stuff people over in Europe? Oh, that guy, he'll never be. And we draft somebody and we never see him. He stays over in Europe all that time and we never see him. This is a European player that is going to help the Celtics for a long time if he stays healthy.
Well, you were discussing Brad. Hey, Max, the trade deadline's less than a month away. If you're the Celtics, given the surprise of a season, would you overextend yourself to bring in another great player to help this team, considering the East is wide open?
I like the possibility of doing that, but you look at their formula right now. The formula has worked well. And paring down the lineup, paring down the salaries, and getting the maximum out of this team. If somehow you can go get a big, and I'll say a guy like a Zubats, and bring him in, especially for a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, playing against him, I think that's going to help you. And if Tatum comes back, and God knows, I hate to even say it, but I believe in what everybody else is saying. Maybe he comes back in March, and you have to bring him back at least 20 games before the season ends because he has to get acclimated to the speed and the pace of the game. So if he can come back and you get a big body to go along with that, you can make some more. You could say you have a legitimate chance in the Eastern Conference right now. You say Detroit, they're better than you. But you can really close the gap if you can get a couple of bigs to play and you bring in Tatum back.
Yeah, and we'll see if Detroit wants to mess with what they have going on. I don't know if it's in their best interest to bring someone in. That's a debate that's going on right now. All right, Cedric Maxwell, listen, congratulations on everything. And for the record, I did not bring up Sean today. Adam did. By playing
I love that. And before I let you go, it was really strange. I walked into the Garden, and everybody knows Francis O'Brien, who's been working for the Celtics forever. All of a sudden, he looks at me and says, "Hey," and the people who were cooking back in the little cafeteria we eat in said, "Congratulations." I'm like, "Congratulations on what?" My neighbor said, "Congratulations." I was like, "What?" And my neighbor sends this thing, says, "Congratulations on the Hall of Fame." I was like, "Hall of Fame?" I was like, "What are they talking about?" I see Francis at the game. He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Francis, you said something about the Hall of Fame." I said, "Where'd you get that from?" He said, "I saw it on Facebook." I said, "Facebook? You saw I got picked on Facebook?" So I just died when I got my 3 votes for the Hall of Fame, so I'm happy now.
You probably got that news from Zolak, who gets all his news from Facebook and TikTok.
Yeah. And you should be in the Hall of Fame, Cedric. There's guys that didn't have the careers that you had that
Finals
are in the Hall
MVP,
of Fame.
hell yeah.
Well,
you know what? It's a great place, but it's not for everybody. And I was a really good player, but I think that for me, that's the elite of the elite. Yeah. And no offense at all to whoever would think, I'm not thinking poorly of myself, but I think about my buddy Bob McAdoo, who's in there, a guy who I think should be in there, somebody like a Tom Chambers who had like 24,000 points during my time during the 80s. So it's a very elite place, and some people are going to get right there, and they're just not going to be able to get in the club. You know how that was, John Wallet, back in the day? You get right there at the door, and they're like, Studio 54.
John had too much silk on. They wouldn't let him in. I'll tell you, Tom Chambers, MVP of the 1985 All-Star Game. It was either 84 or 85. I taped that on Betamax for some reason. All right.
Wow.
All right. Cedric Maxwell, have fun this evening as the team will be at home against the Raptors. Enjoy that.
I'm going to do that, and Wembyamba is coming to town, so we'll get a chance to see the alien on Saturday.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. He might be around for 20 years. All right, Cedric, thank you so much for the time, sir.
Have a good one, my friend.
All right, you do the same.
See you,
All
Max.
right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential. thing. All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
No idea what you're talking about.
Here's more of The Thing on the Sports Hub.
Bring Kendra in for this. Kendra, if you could come in, please. Okay. This is kind of interesting. So WROR, our teammates here, Bob Bronson and LPF, are doing a segment. But in the segment they're doing is not really here or there. But Hardy, you had a question that I couldn't really answer, but go ahead.
LBF asked me if you could name an actor or actress in a movie, like a bio. What? Oh, cookies. Thank you, Kendra.
Look at that.
Very nice.
Rude.
If you could name an actor and actress in a biopic movie that is actually uglier than the person they portray, because oftentimes, like Brad Pitt playing in Moneyball, playing
Billy Bean.
Billy Bean. It's like,
Almost said
okay, well,
Sabian.
all right, Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. Billy Bean was not that good looking. But when has it been reversed, where the actor is actually not as good looking as the person they were portraying? And I had trouble coming up with one, and Zoe came up with one immediately.
That's impressive.
Do you know who he said, John?
Yes, Whitey Bulger.
What he said, Johnny Depp in Black Mass is Whitey Bulger.
Yeah, but get to the other one that he said.
Oh.
Or that you said.
And then I think it was either Zoe or Beeler said, "Oh, the guy who played Elvis, whatever that actor's
Austin
name.
Butler. Austin Butler. Okay,
Kendra's on
and
that
because
one.
Elvis was
He's my age.
like just a gorgeous
your age.
man, but Adam
He's
Butler,
younger
I'm like,
no, he's older than you. Okay, so Austin Butler.
Austin Butler.
Here's the thing: is that my daughter never tells me she thinks anyone's good looking. She's always like, no. But we saw a movie with Austin Butler that was actually pretty good. That was out last year. I can't remember the name of it, but Austin Butler is. Here's my thing, is that I think a lot of not often, but sometimes straight men, we think that men are attractive that women for some reason don't find overly attractive, and I know my daughter thought Austin Butler was very attractive. Do you find him attractive?
I don't find him unattractive, but he's not one of these guys that I would
really
woo girl for.
Wow.
Okay, now here's a question I have for you. Do you watch Below Deck?
No.
Okay, because this is so the good thing about Below Deck is it's got all these like Below Deck's a good show.
I love Below Deck,
but it's got like all these like hunky guys. But the dude that all the girls love is the British chef guy that's like kind of a dick, but like he's like funny and like drunk. He's like a very Bourdain type. And he's not nearly as good looking as the other guys, but women on that show, the women on the boat, all want to have sex with him. And all the women that watch want to have sex with him. Here is the one I need to know. And I don't know if we brought this up with you yet, but I ask every woman this. Glenn Powell. Do you?
No. Oh my God.
I
no.
know.
Okay.
He is not attractive.
What's
to me.
going on? Why is he in every movie? He's not. He's so boring looking. He's a boring looking
They have
man.
him in romantic comedies. What's the one with Sydney Sweeney that he's in?
Anyone But You? Is that what it is?
Maybe that's what it
I watched
is.
that on my flight back from somewhere recently.
But the point is, they have him in romantic comedies now.
Yeah, and he's in everything, John. He's in every movie. He's in every cycle of movies that
he
comes out.
ruined Twisters.
Oh, no, he saved Twisters. By the way, as much as I made fun of it, I ended up going to it just to do something with Zoe.
Right.
But, like, surprisingly, not a good film. But the Running Man movie's not even bad that he's in, which I also saw because it was something to do. But he is in everything. Like Tom Cruise was like an electric looking man.
But
like
he's so little.
No,
Isn't
I know.
He like 5'7".
But this isn't like even like a sexual thing. Like Tom Cruise, undeniably, from anyone who's met him, has like a charisma about him. Like he's a movie star. Like a movie star. Like Glenn Powell is not. We had women call in one time, and they all like a couple of them swore Glenn Powell was this really good looking guy. He's in very good shape. I get it. He's not like particularly short. Like I understand, but he's just so plain. it always seems, Kendra, am I right that a man, like you want a man like that's good looking, but he's got to have like a distinguishing characteristic or something,
Yeah.
right? Like
A
something
gun pal's not
interesting going on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I don't really care how tall you are, but you can't be weirdly religious and short.
What's your limit?
You gotta pick a struggle.
Really?
You gotta pick a struggle.
Yeah, I couldn't date a girl that was super religious.
That may be the funniest thing you've ever said.
Unless they were into like a weird religion, then it might be
He
interesting
is
for a
into a
while.
weird religion. He's a Scientologist.
Oh yeah, but that's not a religion.
That's like you gotta pick a struggle.
You can't be both.
Like if
No.
someone was
Okay.
like, if someone was Wiccan or something, I might be like, this might carry a few conversations.
6'1" Scientologist.
Like
Yeah.
who?
Okay.
You could be 5'7" or you can be into
But he could
Scientology. You
summon
cannot
people.
do both.
I understand.
Okay, what is your height limit? Or like
Minimum?
your height minimum?
I don't really have one, to be honest.
Okay, so there's this movie about with Dakota Fanning, and that again I saw with Zoe. That's about she runs this like high end dating thing,
Yeah, it's Dakota Johnson
Dakota Johnson, sorry, and so
and Pedro Pascal.
so Pedro Pascal plays a guy that,
See, he's weird. He's not like traditionally handsome,
but he's handsome because
Correct.
he's got stuff
He's
going
weird,
on.
Yeah.
But the thing about this movie that bugged me is that at the end, spoilers, okay? At the end, you find out they've been talking about this surgery that people have where they get their legs broken to be. It's all about how superficial dating is now, and that these guys get this surgery where they get their legs broken so they can extend their legs and make them taller. And at the end, you find out Pedro Pascal has had this surgery done so he could be 6 feet tall. Now, here's what aggravated me about that movie. Is I'm 6'2". It does me no good. None. None. That you would figure it'd be this massive advantage to me. No one ever goes like, oh, wow, you're 6'2". Like, now, my wife at the time wouldn't have married anyone shorter than her, and she's 5'10". So, I do realize that if it's a tall woman that I have an advantage. But I saw this movie, and I'm like, well, if I was in this dating thing based on what the criteria you're giving, I would be a hot shot.
I don't know. I've dated 5'8" and 7 feet, so
7 feet tall?
Twice.
Wow. How tall are you?
Like 5, 6.5.
So you couldn't kiss him when you were both standing?
I mean, I guess.
No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. Because
no.
I've dated girls that were under like 5'4", and I couldn't kiss them. Well, they had to like get up on a
Yeah.
chair. All right, very good. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Kendra Middleton is here.
More.
on the NFL, but we are Toucher and Hardy, and we are on YouTube. You can subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub and watch us live. Kendra insists on looking at the chat. I have a friend who's very into the chat now, specifically because of Blind Scott. People complain about the Blind Scott, and they go, there's a crazy guy in the chat. Hey, guess what? 95% of you are crazier than him. So if you think Hardy or I give a rat's ass that he's on there blowing it up, you'd be sadly mistaken. If you somehow put yourself a tier ahead of Blind Scott, unless you're Riz or one of these original Twitch people who we respect, if you're someone who gets up every morning just to crap on us, if you think we're going to shed a tear because Blind Scott's insanely rambling on that, I got news for you. We're not. And if you think you're somehow superior to him,
sympathy elsewhere.
Yeah, and if you think you're somehow superior to him, I got news for you. In no way are you. Because at least Scott knows what he's doing. He's doing it to be actively annoying, in which I give a ton more respect to than I do to you. But anyway, Kendra said I'm not 6'2". And for
I
this,
didn't say that.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't. You're saying that the people on the chat said I'm not 6'2".
Yeah, some guy was like, I met Fred, he's not 6'2".
Okay, let's do this exercise. Hardy, come next to me. How tall are you?
5'10".
Okay.
5'10", 5'11".
Okay, 5'10", 5'11". Come here. Let's just do this. For the sake of it, let's just do it. He's 5'10", 5'11". Here, put it on YouTube. There you go. Okay, you can sit down. Come here, Wallach. How tall are you?
About the same, 5'11".
All right, come here. Here we go. Let's just do it.
I love that we're doing this exercise.
Because if let's just put this to bed. 5'10", 5'11". There you go. All right, done. Yeah. Come here, Kendra. How tall are you? How tall are you?
Like 5'6" and a half.
5'2", eyes of blue.
5'6" and a half. All right, here we go. Come here. 5'6" and a half. Yes. Okay. Good. All right. I would say that I'm 8 inches taller than you. That's very good.
All right.
I don't know why. Been 6'2" from.
I didn't know that would make you so upset.
It doesn't, but it's just easily provable.
He has so little. Let him be 6'2".
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have nothing. Can I please get this?
Your kids are cool.
No, I have a great relationship with my children. Thank you.
I'm just saying they're cool.
And it's because I made them that way. You know that. No, Kendra's very nice to my daughter. I do appreciate it.
I love Zoe. She's the best.
Yeah, Zoe does reach out to Kendra for usually fashion advice and makeup advice, but that does happen. And we all appreciate that. We do.
Anyways.
All right, so listen. Here we are. Is there a best bet you have? We'll go over every game, but is there a best bet that you have? Is there a game you like better than the others? There only seems to be two that seem like the outcome is kind of decided.
I'm gonna not blow up her spot, but of the 4 bets that I know you like this weekend, only 2 of them are game outcome related in terms of who will win.
Yes.
Okay, so
I have 2 spreads, I have a player prop, and then I have a total.
Okay. All right. But you believe there's no way that the Rams lose to the Panthers, correct?
No, I don't think so, no. It's so hard for a team to beat somebody twice, let alone when there's such a talent discrepancy. I don't know if they cover this. It was 10.5 yesterday. Let me see if it's still that number.
Still is.
Yeah. I like that you're getting the extra half a point. If you really like Carolina, make sure you get it in case it goes back down to 10. But I don't think that the Rams lose this game. There's no way. I get that they're, on the road. Carolina beat them earlier this year, but there's just absolutely no way. It's the postseason. Matt Stafford has the experience, and he has the better weapons. Like, I get that Tetairoa McMillan's probably going to be the offensive rookie of the year, which I think is freaking insane. Like, that is insane to me. It should not be him. He's had a great season, don't get me wrong. But such a talent discrepancy, hard to beat a team twice.
Who should be rookie of the year then?
I personally think Tyler Shuck or Jackson Dart. I would probably give it to Jackson Dart, but he's nowhere close.
Yeah, Dart missed how much time this
He missed
season?
a lot of time,
Yeah.
but he still had good wins. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, but I think his payoff is in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Ted McMillan wins because he's a skill position player in a year where not a lot of rookie skill position players pop.
But Tyler Shuck is right there, too, and he didn't start the season either, so I don't really think that that's an excuse.
But McMillan was there, more to Fred's point, beginning to end.
Yeah, McMillan's locked down pretty much, I think, to probably be the offensive rookie of the year. And I hate that a lot of these things have turned into quarterback awards, but even if Jackson Dart missed a couple of games, he still mattered more to his team than Tetairoa McMillan did.
Let's see how good a quarterback Dart ends up being. because
It's going to be the most electric 5-year career of all time.
Right,
I don't even know if he lasts that long.
because a
considering
lot
how
of
he
people are
runs.
like, you got to take the Giants job because they have a quarterback, and I'm like,
He's not going to be around very long. He keeps running the way he's running.
Well, I also don't. I'm not quite sure if he's a great quarterback. Anyway, do you think it's a foregone conclusion? Forget the number. Do you think it's a foregone conclusion the Texans beat the Steelers?
I actually have the Steelers +3. I think that they could win this game.
Oh.
I really like the Steelers are my big upset this weekend. I think what you need to do in the postseason, especially wild card weekend, is pick one upset. Pick an upset. And that's the thing is everyone's been talking about all week about upsets in the wild card and how there's so many games that I think all of these games are outside, and that hasn't happened in 15 years or something like that in the wild card weekend. Pay attention to weather, pick an upset. It's that time of year. Not all of these favorites are going to win, and I love a lot of the underdogs this weekend.
like the Bears and the Packers. It's supposed to snow, right?
I think it's going to be 30-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know about snow, but the wind is definitely going to be a factor in that game. That's something that they've talked about. Otherwise, I'd probably have the over in that game if the weather wasn't going to be a factor. But Pittsburgh, I think Houston has really shown lately that they're a beatable team. I worry about them not being able to score points. I think both of these defenses will be fine, but it's going to, and it sounds stupid to say, but it's going to come down to which quarterback can put more points on the board. Aaron Rodgers has not been the most successful postseason quarterback for someone that's played that long and has a, Lombardi trophy, but he's been playing good football. If they can continue to play the way they have been the last couple of weeks, if they can get some of that defense elevated, and they're getting DK Metcalf back, if they can outscore CJ Stroud, I don't see why the Steelers can't pull off an upset. But I've been saying that for a few weeks now, so I have to stick to my guns here. But I think that is my favorite upset this week. Not my favorite pick, but you have to pick an upset this time of year.
Okay, what's your favorite pick?
My favorite pick's probably the under in the San Francisco-Philly game. The 49ers have so many injuries that it's hard to overlook. And Brock Purdy came out this week that he's nursing, I believe, a shoulder injury. And the Eagles go absolutely dormant on offense for a half at a time. We've seen that since the middle of the season, if not longer. The Eagles go 2 quarters a game with just absolutely zero offensive production. You can blame it on, the Saquon Madden curse if you want. Jalen Hurts, people are saying that he's a system quarterback, whatever. I think the Eagles win this game. I do have their money line. If you want to throw that in a parlay somewhere just to get a little bit of extra value, it's -220, so I get that that's not probably everyone's favorite bet that they want to go with, but I have the Eagles money line. I have the under in that game. I really think that is probably my favorite, is the under, just because of the injuries and the fact that the Eagles just cannot get it figured out on offense.
Okay, well, I have some money to play with because I mistakenly took the women's Michigan State Spartan team last night instead of the men's team, and they did take care of business against Washington. They were a dog, and I had the money line.
You go, girls.
Yeah, so there you go. I mean, they got down 13 in that game, but I never gave up hope, and they ended up winning by.
How did you find out?
What?
Yeah, how'd you find out who won?
Okay, well, I was at.
Is that online? Can you find that somewhere?
So I follow Michigan State basketball, and whenever they get down in the game, I bet them on the money line, and they were playing Northwestern, so I was fairly confident, and they were down a little bit. So I make up the bet because I had to search Michigan State on the app, on DraftKings, because you're sponsored by DraftKings. And I go, why is this buyout not happening? Like, why is it not letting me buy out the bet for more than the bet? And I bet on the women's Spartans. And so I was at that game didn't start very late, and I was at the Bruins game, and I was talking. Look, man, I was at a game with a friend, and I was talking to the friend, and so I just kept my eye on the game, and nonetheless, those ladies who I never had a doubt with pulled it out. All right, we'll end with the Patriots game. Your Jaguars.
Hold on, I have one more thing I want to give out before we get to the Pats. We can talk about the
No,
Jags.
I didn't want to talk about the Pats.
Okay.
We can get to it. Fine, go do whatever you want to talk about.
If you want to talk Jags Bills, this is a crazy, super random player prop, but Tim Patrick for over a single receiving yard, I feel like that's massive. People don't watch the Jags a ton, don't blame you, but Tim Patrick is one of these guys. He's a vet in the league. I want to say he's like 32 or 33 years old, but he's good.
What position does he play?
He's a receiver.
He was in Denver last year,
But
right?
Yeah, of course. I knew that.
He's good for a catch a game. Like in a situation where Brenton Strange double covered, whatever, he's good for when everybody else is just getting too many options and they don't expect Tim Patrick to come in there and get a catch. Tim Patrick's your guy. I'm going to go with Tim Patrick over a single receiving yard. It was plus 100 yesterday. I don't know if it's still there, but that's what
Well,
I
your
would.
bet probably brought it down.
Super random.
They finally got someone to bet on it.
Yeah.
Super random. But obviously, like, Jacoby Myers gets a lot of attention in that offense. Brenton Strange has to get a ton of attention in that offense. And yeah, BTJ hasn't been himself this year, so you can kind of let him, off a little bit. Parker Washington, too. So when all of those guys that people expect to have catches, Tim Patrick, security blanket.
Okay.
Liam Cohen threatened Robert Saleh.
I know. It's really awkward for me because those are both my boys. I was at that game.
I can't wait till Saleh gets a head coaching job.
You know I used to be his nanny, right?
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I used to be Robert Saleh's nanny when he was in Jacksonville.
He has
Wait,
like
can
11
we get the
kids.
Paul Perillo Duval? Because it's in there. I had Jay Stu cut it. It's identical.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I cut that and I cut some
No,
throats.
it's identical to Liam Cohen.
So how many kids did Saleh have when you nannied for him?
I think he had 4 at the time, and now I want to say he has like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he's got
But
a
they
lot
had
of kids.
just had. They had just had a daughter
Okay.
when I was watching.
Was
their
he
kids.
cool?
Oh my god, he was the best.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
Which is crazy because like if you watch that whole interaction between the two of them, but he's the nicest guy in the world.
Well, he seemed to. If you don't know, Liam Cohen thought Saleh had badmouthed him or something, and then after the game,
He did. Kind
Okay,
of.
so he kind of did. Oh, he said they were stealing signs,
Yeah.
but he didn't say like they're horrible. They're stealing signs. He's just like it's part of the game, but they steal signs, and then awkwardly because Cohen's a dork. He is, which
Yeah.
she would know. I mean, she follows the team. He's a huge nerd. He goes like, "Keep my name out of your mouth," like it was like which you want to quote Will Smith, the biggest cuckold of all time when you're insulting someone.
You're going.
And Saleh like didn't even know that he was messing with him, kind of. And they asked Saleh after the game, and he's like, "I don't know." Saleh would destroy, and I know Cohen is like a player, like an athlete and everything, but Saleh runs those stairs. But I do look forward to Saleh getting a coaching job and finding that all.
Yeah, but Cohen was a quarterback. It's a little
and they'll be like, "Look what happened to the Jets when Saleh left." I'm like, "Look what happened to the Jets when Saleh was there."
Yeah.
Duval.
That's Perillo. That's
Oh, it's pretty
crazy,
good.
right?
Duval.
I don't know how hard that is to do.
I don't know. I was pretty impressed.
All right, but do you like the Jaguars in that game?
I think that this number is right.
I don't care about the number. Do you like them to win the game?
I do, just because I think that the fact that the Bills run the ball so much and the Jags have such a good run defense, and the Jags can, if they can establish the run, they can run the ball on the Bills.
Yeah, well, sure.
I think that that's the thing. Whoever can establish the run first is going to win this game. Like, I really think that this number is completely accurate. I'm going to be there. I think it's going to be close, probably less than a field goal. Here's the thing. I think it's either going to be close and less than a field goal, or I think the Jags are going to blow them out.
It's funny. So we'll get to the Patriots-Chargers game. Someone called into Felger and Maz, and they were like, I can just see Herbert getting completely like if you defer the coin toss, it deferred the coin toss, and you give the Chargers the ball when they're out there on the field in Gillette, the deafening crowd noise, and everyone, including Alex Barth in studio, was like, "What are you talking about?"
No,
That's never going to happen.
No.
It's not going to be a factor at all. And it's not. And Felger made this point too, but it's not necessarily the crowd's fault. It's it's not a stadium that's built. It's not Arrowhead. It's not built like to encase noise.
Yeah.
I don't know if noise is going to be a huge factor in this game.
Any thought to the 49ers' chances in Philadelphia?
Mm-mm. They're just so
She said
hurt.
it.
They're just so hurt, Hardy.
She talked about it.
I know, but in just in terms of Philadelphia running the ball, and if Derrick Henry starts coughing it up again, I mean, is there a chance?
There's a chance if, like I said, the Eagles.
Derrick
offense-
Henry.
Saquon, you mean?
Saquon Barkley, excuse me.
Barkley's been fumbling this year?
No, I'm not, I think I
No.
was thinking about Henry
There's
coughing it up.
a chance if the Eagles' offense, like I said, goes completely anemic the way that they have through the second half of this season. But I just worry. Brock Purdy's injured. Ricky Pearsall's not playing. That they have some injuries on their
That's the
offense. Trent
Spillane.
Williams might not play. Like
He's the
too many
Spillane
question marks
of the 49ers.
They had a guy last week playing who was like a journeyman in the NFL at left tackle.
Wow, that's crazy. You've seen the Jets? All right, so here we go.
Hey, they had all 5 starters on the offensive line for every game.
They had a guy at a gas station that filled the tire.
Never
of,
happened
of
before.
Aaron Glenn.
That was their big post. Did you see that?
What was it?
They had a social media post, the New York Jets, They have the same 5 starting offensive linemen for every game.
Oh,
this
yeah, that is
season.
true.
You guys want to know the bet splits?
Well, they're going to have a banner made for that.
They
put that up
should.
in the
At least
stadium.
something happened.
Okay, so they're for the 49ers game, 80% of the money's on the 49ers.
Oh, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
At all.
Now,
at plus 4.5?
And that is a hard place to play.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so here we go. Chargers,
Don't
Patriots.
bet with the public, Hardy. Don't do that. Don't bet with the public.
That is just because people are 49er fans. All right, so Chargers, Patriots.
Yeah.
What are your feelings on this game, Kendra?
I actually was talking to Alex Barth about this a little bit yesterday because I was at the Chargers game in Jacksonville a couple of years ago, and it was the second coldest I've ever been in my life. The Winter Classic at Fenway was the first, and then this Chargers game, because it went from like 40 during the day to 30, like right around kickoff or whatever. But here's the thing. I'm not going to say that that's cold, but in a humid climate, 30 degrees is so much colder.
Suffice it to say you were cold. Okay.
Yeah, but
okay.
so I think that Justin Herbert's probably going to struggle in the weather again. And he has negative clutch gene. He's not a postseason quarterback. He's a regular season guy. I'm worried about the Chargers.
Take the Patriots and the points. That's what you're saying.
I like them. I think it's a field goal. Yeah.
All right.
The 3.5 is nice if you like the Chargers, but I think the Patriots win this game just from the defensive side.
Okay, so that is unanimous. No one that we've had on this week, and there have been a lot, close to 10, no one has picked the Chargers in this game. Not one person. Now, not always against the number, but no one that literal, national, local, no one.
I can tell you the bet splits on them too. So 45% of the money is on the Chargers with 41% of the tickets.
Okay. All right, there you go. All right, so, yeah, that's unanimous then. How do you feel about something like that when something's unanimous, Hardy?
I feel you should go the other way.
Never bet with the public.
I mean, but it's just, I don't know if we've a game this year that wasn't like a garbage one. Like any game the Patriots that have played. I know the Bills and the Ravens weren't unanimous. The national guys all went, the team they were playing, the local guys all went Patriots in those games. So both were right once. Dave Richard, like all these guys picked the Patriots. And Kendra's our last guest of the week, and the last guest before the game. And that's everyone.
If this were neutral site, I'd feel different.
It makes me nervous.
Yeah, if it was neutral site, yeah, it would be different too. I think
if
being
it were
at home,
neutral site in like Miami, I would feel different.
But it's interesting because it's not like the Chargers are this 1985 Miami team that you think that like can't play in the weather. But you might be right about Herbert. I don't think Herbert's left hand's an issue. I can tell you that.
No, I have to say, I did not think he was a tough guy, but watching that Texans defense punch at his hand after that surgery, I wanted to cry every single time.
Yeah, no, he's a tough kid. All right, you're going to stick around, so if you got emails, feel free to read them.
I have some Twitter comments from something I posted.
That'll work.
I don't know why you're on that thing. All right.
Money.
We got to talk off air about how much money is worth money. All right. Because sometimes it's
every job in this industry I've ever gotten has been through Twitter.
And you think that's still the case?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, we got a break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
All right, Kendra's going to hang out for this one. By the way, we got Patriots tickets for this Sunday night's game.
Ooh.
Now, as excited as I am that the game is on Sunday night, I do like that. I can't explain why. It doesn't bother me. The truth is I don't sleep very much anyway. I would not go. That I would not go. I'd rather watch it at home. Even if like a team I really liked was playing in it, I would not go. If I had to get up and go to work the next day.
Why? You're no fun. You only live once.
Yeah, I don't know if on my deathbed, Kendra, that I'll be like, I wish I went to the wild card round game.
What if your kid wanted to go, though?
Actually,
then I would go.
Weather-wise, it's going to be okay, but Sunday night game, no thank you. And by the way, I just looked it up. The Patriots-Chargers playoff game that I went to in the 06 season, so it was January of 07. That was 13 degrees, and wind chill was 2.
No thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Did you bring hand warmers?
That was the one I dressed up like in all my snowboarding
Were you still drinking?
clothes. No.
No, he's been
I
off
was
for a
gonna
while.
say you guys
He's
know
super coked up,
that I Adderall that I don't.
I wish.
I don't
won't
drink
let him take Adderall.
unless I'm on vacation. But if the Jags and the Patriots play up here next week, I will have a flask because I will be so cold.
Oh, so you'll be like one of the. You should just wear like a collar with like a little barrel around your neck, like they do in the cartoons.
Oh, yeah, the St. Bernard.
And the St. Bernard
Some
comes out.
McGillicuddy's like a real New England.
Oh, you'll get so drunk.
Probably, honestly, all it would take is
No,
two
you'll-
of those things at this point for me. And I would be-
Really? I don't know if
Yes.
that's humanly possible. You might put on 20 pounds because it's 7,000 calories per 0.001% of alcohol.
that and a hot dog. Let's get it.
Fred.
But there's a bunch I got to do here. So we got tickets at the end of this segment
yeah.
for a chance to win, tickets for Sunday night's game.
Yes.
And let me tell you this. The Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens. So if it's all sevens, Kendra, the number would be 61.
777777777.
Everyone's been fantastic with this.
Yeah, it's
Or
really
you got to
good.
visit, visit gottagetglassman.com.
All right.
Okay,
Ben-
I have nothing. I'm thinking nothing.
Ben, right from the jump here, who says he's 0 for in his emails this year. We're only 9 days in. But he says, I will remain persistent. I would love to hear Mr. Yager's take on the Ottawa Senators cheating scandal. And the scandal is, of course, the rumors that Linus Ullmark told his wife/girlfriend that a bunch of the guys on the team were cheating, and turns out he was cheating, and then she ratted out everybody who was cheating. So he wants to know what Yager has to say about this.
You're saying Yager make love many women? Oh no! Next time you're telling me I took a bath and I need a towel to dry. Yes, I put it wherever. It's good. One lady don't like it. I say, you don't like it, you get no more. And she says, I like it. And I go, good. Yeah, the Yager got no problem with that. The best is when the lady tried to blackmail
I was just
Yager.
gonna bring this up.
Yager banged this like beauty pageant contestant. That's right. And she like took a picture of them in bed. And he was asleep. And she's like, hey, if you don't like give me money, I'm going to put this on the internet. And he's like, cool.
Do you remember when Julian Edelman had that happen to him after the Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah.
He went home with some girl and she like took a picture of him.
No, but the best is Yager not only said fine, he
Yeah.
retweeted the photo.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's amazing.
Perfect.
If we have consensual, I'll just tell you right now, if I have consensual sex with a woman and she takes a picture of me asleep and says, give me money or I'm going to put this on the internet, I'll be like, great.
Especially if
It
she's a
proves
beauty
that I had
pageant,
sex.
like, girl.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God,
yeah,
are you
whatever.
kidding?
Like, whoever. Like, good. Like, yeah, like.
That means I've had sex at least 3 times because I have 2 kids.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it proves that it would shock so many people. It would get a lot of. In fact, it might be a news story. Fred Toucher got a woman to have consensual sex with him. It was a real situation.
Rob emailed in, Fred being overly concerned with his birthday week and his height, that tracks. So there we go.
First of all, I haven't even started to bother Hardy about my birthday yet because that will happen next week. Because much like, you know why I love my birthday? It's because it was the time that I was last inside of a woman's belly. And just being cozy, nestled up in a womb. Do you ever put your hands on your stomach hearts and just feel it and just go, if I could grow life in here, things would be a little different? Do you think women do you think women should maybe rule the world because they understand about making babes?
The character that Fred has devised, the guy who wishes he had a womb guy, is the most unsettling character.
Yeah, this is my free birth control for today. Thank you.
It's off-putting, to say the least.
Kendra, just let's have lunch and you can just tell me what's going on with fellas.
I think I'm up on
I'm
it.
not going to say a word. You're just going to sit there and talk and I'll listen.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
And I'll just nod and say, I believe you and I feel your truth. So, by the way, I've not talked at all about my birthday.
Who sings like the Tiptoe Through the Flowers song?
Tiny Tim.
No.
Tiny Tim.
Joan Baez.
Same difference.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Pretty much.
Same amount of talent.
The same amount of scary.
No one has gotten. Now, Baez had some guts. She put herself in some very dangerous positions. There was a lot of people in the South that wanted her murdered.
Yes.
For her work. So she was a very brave woman. But in terms of bravery and talent, the seesaw is very heavily weighted on the bravery segment of that. Because and people say she's a great beauty. No. Her and Joni Mitchell, you can take them.
I remember her showing up at
Samantha Fox.
I think at Live Aid. And I'm like, who is this? Why is she here? Why is she singing?
Yeah, anyone with an acoustic guitar can basically go screw. That's why one of the great moments of all time is the anarchy from the total, what would you call it, eunuchs that were at the Newport Folk Festival when Dylan dared to plug in, and they felt it was the end of civilization because it got away from the pureness of the acoustical instrument.
I give.
And for the next obvious thing,
people disagreeing with your take on Lena Solmark and the wife, Fred. And if I can just summarize briefly, you say that Allmark telling his wife about guys cheating is bad, but not nearly as bad as her going around and allegedly, again, the senators say none of this happened, by the way. But if she had then called the other wives and girlfriends to say, hey, your man is cheating on you, that she's worse.
Okay, so I live with Kendra, say, and I go to Kendra and I go, look, we're roommates. And I go, Kendra, guess what? Like, so-and-so at the station is having this affair. And it's like, can you believe this? Da-da-da-da-da-da. I tell her that because we're close. If she goes and tells that guy's wife, that's her fault. It's not my fault. It's her fault.
But
she's the villain.
Who is more at fault? And Joe says, Allmark is the knucklehead who broke the code and also put his wife in a terrible position, considering she is probably friendly with the other wives. That was a boneheaded, stupid move.
Look, there's a lot of things. Yeah, if she's like best friends with this guy's wife, then that's a mistake, and he made a mistake. But I'm assuming not everyone on the team's
I think
wives
like 90% of those guys are banging chicks that are not their wife.
Well, I got news for you. I don't know how you don't. Like, I don't know how you can be 21, 22 years old or 25, 26 years old, be going around the country, be stuck in Calgary, go to some restaurant where everyone gets paid to get fake boobs, have them, like, grabbing your junk, and not at one point just go, fine.
This is why I don't mess with athletes. They got a girlfriend in every town they frequent. I'm out.
But you dated Brady.
True.
So I don't know how that.
We never broke up, actually, technically.
Of course.
And just to be clear,
Thank you for having him get all that work, and he must be so fun to talk to.
The Senators put out the statement saying none of this is true, although people are commenting the fact that they're 3-game losing streak and they got beat 8-2 last night, and they're getting 10-minute misconducts for choking people out on the ice.
Does no one realize
it
that?
It does look like they're falling apart a little bit.
Yeah.
No one realizes, and look, I'm not blowing up my friend's spots, but like no one realizes the difference between just like sharing information and then telling. That'd be like going like, hey, did you hear Wallach stole something from Tiffany's? And then the person that you told going to Tiffany's in the police and going, John stole stuff.
Yeah.
You want to check the camera footage. It's a big leap between a partner sharing something with their partner and then that person going off and telling everyone involved.
Let me tell you who's more at fault. Uncle Leo for stealing the book or Jerry for ratting him out?
Well, Jerry ratted him out. Yeah, because Jerry...
So who's more at
Jerry.
fault? Uncle Leo stole the book.
But Jerry was trying to teach him a lesson. He didn't think he was going to get arrested. You know that. Hello!
Swarm.
All right. These are Seinfeld references. All right. Kendra,
Yes.
thank you so much. Have fun in
Thank you.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Thank you. I will. I'm going to see my mom and take down her Christmas trees. Can't wait.
All right. Is she listening right now?
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh,
well, hello,
hi.
Mrs.
She does not miss a minute of you guys.
What is the last name she goes by?
She's still a Middleton.
All right, Middleton.
Nice.
I'm with you, sister. So we're all good.
I can't believe you ate one of my cookies. I'm so proud of
I
you.
ate 2 of your cookies.
Wow. He ate something I
Excellent.
made at home.
They were really good.
They were
really
very
good.
All right, caller number 10 of the contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll score a pair of tickets to see the Patriots take on the Chargers Sunday night at Gillette Stadium in the wild card game. Should be a great game. We'll be back, our last break before that game, in just a moment.
Essential Sports Hub.
Ready? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Up. That sensation really skewed the man. All right, what's going on?
All right, let's just pretend for a moment that you're Adam 12 and you have no interest in watching the college football semifinal tonight or any playoff football tomorrow or Sunday.
Are you
What
guys
will do
watching that
this
tonight?
weekend? I'm going to watch
I
it
am.
tonight, yeah.
This is the game.
Well,
Indiana,
I really
Oregon.
should watch it
Yes.
as a matter of scouting because I want to fall in love with Dante Moore and have him go back to school. That's the real idea.
What would one do in Boston this weekend, though, if you're not going to watch football? Well, Adam,
A couple hours, maybe like 90 minutes to 2 hours, depending on which way you go.
So it's a 4-hour round
North
trip.
Woodstock, New Hampshire.
Yeah. So it's the far end of the Kankomagus near like Lincoln. Although maybe they moved it if you're saying.
The far end of a cankle can be hard to get around depending on the size.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah, thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jacob.
I love that you support us calling out your father's many flaws and failures. All right. Well, look, I, for one, am very excited for Sunday night's game. I think it should be good. I, like everyone else, do like the Patriots in this game, but that makes everyone, and that does concern me in a little bit. So what are you going to do? But don't go by what I think. Even though I did win the only bet I've won recently was a bet I made on an accident. Now, I would have won the bet that I bet.
That was Michigan State women's basketball.
I won the Michigan State women's basketball.
Good
Now,
for you.
I did do my thing where I bet on Michigan State men's basketball when they were down, and I bet money line, and they were down a bit. They were down like 10 against Northwestern, so it was about even money at that point.
Right.
And so I did bet that, but I bet the wrong game. All right. That'll do it for us. Scotty Z is already in here. What's up, dude? How are you?
Late game, Fred. I don't know.
I like it.
You gonna make it Monday?
Oh, shut up.
Oh, buddy.
Stop it. Where
I'm
was
gonna be
Maz
so
yesterday?
He had a personal issue.
Oh, okay. So great. Did you hear me ripping on him? You're the one attacking.
Doesn't have a cat.
The cat died.
Not the first time.
Not the first time.
Not the first time, according to the picture. He was on dialysis for like 5 years.
Oh,
No, not
You're the
dialysis.
best.
I did have a dog we had to give injections to twice a day, though.
Oh.
Yeah, wouldn't leave the garage. That's how we got it. Just showed up in the garage and wouldn't leave.
Was it his nose who kept falling off, though? That was a different dog.
No, and that doesn't really make sense. All right. That'll do it.